What's up, everybody? Good morning and a very happy Thursday to you all. A DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk studios this morning. Appreciate you tuning in however you may be tuning in from, whether it's on those radio dials of 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Also available to stream up online, wayyyradio.com. You got the app, download it, take it on the go. Your smart devices, your smart speakers, the video stream also up and rolling right now on YouTube. Don't forget to click that follow, subscribe button on YouTube too. So what do we have on our game plan for us this morning on a Masters Thursday, the opening rounds? If you want, you can give us your predictions right now on who you think is going to capture the Green Jackets. All right, start to hit us up with your picks at 715-830-1912 on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line. You can join in on the Section 105 chat room as well with your picks if you'd like to do that. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Brewers dropping their first series of the early season in a 5-0 loss to the Boston Red Sox yesterday. Brewers dropping to 8-4 overall on the season. Off day today for the crew as they get set to return home and welcome the Washington Nationals. Bryce Terang again did not play yesterday. Apparently is dealing with some tendonitis in his ankle, but according to him, he should be ready to go for this series coming up with the Nationals. So we'll talk some baseball, talk some crew throughout the morning here as we're 2 weeks into this thing now. It was just 2 weeks ago 2 weeks ago today that it was opening day and such. So we're already 2 weeks into this thing. Brewers 4 games above 500 right now, sitting at 8-4. Second in the NL Central. Got the Reds that are also up there too. So, but we'll talk plenty of baseball here this morning. Also, you've got hockey. We're back to some Division I hockey after a little bit of a break. Frozen Four begins tonight. And if you are a Badgers fan, a Wisconsin fan, definitely going to be paying attention to the game tonight as they will be taking on North Dakota. So I've got a little bit of hockey chats coming your way. Hoops-wise, you've got the Bucks last night, no surprise, falling again to the Detroit Pistons. Just 2 more games left to go. We got the home finale coming your way tomorrow. We'll see if Giannis makes an appearance or not. But a little more locally, too. Sam Clayton named as the new UW Stout women's basketball head coach. Former Durand native coming over from the D2 level where she was head coach at Michigan Tech. So UW Stout quickly filling the void left by Hannah Iverson, who is the new Blue Gold women's head coach. So speaking of Blue Golds, too, I know it was a busy day yesterday. Softball picking up some wins on the diamond yesterday. Had lacrosse was also in action. They fell to River Falls, though. Baseball splitting against Stevens Point. So busy day on the field yesterday, too, for Blue Golds and Stout as well. So, but yeah, we'll talk a little hoops here this morning. We'll throw a little green and gold chat. It was 2 weeks ago yesterday that it was opening day, but it's 2 weeks from 2 weeks from today. We've got the first round of the NFL draft. So we know right now Green Bay will not be participating in that first round unless they make some moves and such. But we'll kind of continue our draft countdown prospect series and such. As it relates to the Packers and such. So, but just 2 weeks away. We're just 2 weeks away now from the first round of the NFL draft. So, also the docket, since it is a Thursday, we've got our usuals, little Takeover Thursday. If you've got a topic in mind that you'd like to throw our way to throw out to the rest of the armchair MVPs, please send them on over. All right, we're an open book. This is your chance right now to to kind of, get your thoughts out, get your opinions out and such. So we want to hear from you. If you got a topic in mind that you'd like everybody to discuss, send it on over. Also, it is Enough is Enough Thursday. What's the sports narrative, story, whatever that's kind of maybe out there right now where you're just like, man, enough is enough with this. Also, Tailgate Outdoors. Our good buddy Jake Boakes will be joining us coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, towards the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. We got spring turkey hunting season starting up here. We got the kiddos getting the first crack at it and such. So if you got any questions with that or anything else, please start to send those on over right now so we can pass those along to Jake. But Jake, again, for our Tailgate Outdoors, brought to you by Tilden Gun, be joining us at about 8:30 this morning. And just kind of maybe a icebreaker poll question, if you will, to kind of open up this Thursday morning. With it also being the Masters, it's kind of an annual question and such. But what is the number one thing that's on your sports bucket list? Maybe an event to attend. Is it a location? Maybe it's a stadium that you would always love to go watch a game at, or is it a team that you would like to see, or a certain athlete? Whatever the case may be, what is your sports-related bucket item, your number one sports-related bucket item? I kind of do this almost around the Masters time and such because I feel like that is probably one of the top ones for a lot of people. It is number one for me. So, but how about the rest of you? What's the number one bucket list item for you? All right. Text it on over, or again, you can hang out in the Section 105 chat room on YouTube. So that's kind of your game plan here for us this morning. So let's jump into it, shall we? We're going to open it up. We're going to talk some baseball here this morning as the Brewers dropping the game yesterday 5-0, dropping the series against the Boston Red Sox. So off day today for the crew before they return home to the friendly confines of American Family Field and begin a series against the Washington Nationals. And then shortly after that, they're going to be welcoming the Toronto Blue Jays to town too. So, but let's talk some baseball to open up things here this morning. We'll take our first break, and then the leadoff coming up. Don't forget to also send over your Masters picks, your predictions on who you think will win the Masters. So, all right, we'll take a quick break and get things rocking and rolling here this morning. We got intern Carter joining us as well. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. With spring rolling into Eau Claire, it's time to get back outside and enjoy the season. And whether you're heading to the range or getting ready for hunting season, or you're just gearing up for time in the great outdoors, Till the Gun is your local shop for selection, service, and expertise. They offer a wide range of firearms and accessories, along with a knowledgeable staff who can help you find exactly what fits your needs. No pressure, just straight answers and real guidance. It's about making sure you're comfortable, confident, and ready for your next outing. Spring is the season to get prepared, to get organized, and to get outside. And Tilden Gun is here to help you do just that. Stop on in and see what they've got in stock and why so many in the Chippewa Valley trust them year after year. Tilden Gun in Eau Claire, your hometown source for gear, service, and experience. So, all right, let's get things rocking and rolling here this morning on the leadoff. We're going to talk some baseball, talk some Brewers. We've got intern Cardo, who is donning, if you're watching the video stream, the Badger hockey jersey this morning. I've got my Masters blazer on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
More excited for hockey than golf? That's not fair. Don't pick that.
Yeah, I can't really answer that.
Yeah, you can't. It's Frozen 4, and it's the first round of the Masters. It's both.
I mean,
double TV.
I work during the Badger game, so that sucks. But
yeah, how do you like their chances going up against North Dakota?
It's hard with college hockey because it's any given day pretty much. I mean, the Badgers have beat Michigan, who's the best team in the country. They beat Michigan State to get to this point, who is the second best team in the country.
Yeah.
So, and I went to a Badgers game this year, and they lost to Minnesota 7-2. So it's really any given day for college hockey. They're obviously one of the best teams in the country, but they have to put it all together.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of been maybe a little, would you say a little bit of a surprise year for Badger hockey to be at this point for the men's team?
I think so. Just they had some injuries to their goaltenders, and just we're not playing well kind of going down. And especially they lost early in the Big Ten tournament, so to be able to kind of pick it back up is impressive.
Yeah. You look at the first year under Mike Hastings, I think surprised a lot of people how well they were. Then high expectations to year 2, didn't hit those, but a lot of players, talents, kind of left and such. And then year 3 bounced back nicely, and here we are back in the Frozen 4. So it would be pretty cool if we could sweep hockey for national champions, though, no doubt. So 4:00 is when the puck drops, right? It's 4:00.
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think I saw 5, but it was Eastern time. So early this evening. You don't have a Brewers game, you don't have a Bucks game, or anything like that. So you can have some hockey up, and you'll probably be watching the Masters throughout the whole day. So maybe a little bit of a break and watch some hockey and such too. So, but Brewers have the off day today after wrapping up their quick road trip, and they'd probably be wishing they'd be coming back home with another series win. But alas, they fall to the Red Sox yesterday. Just 4 total hits for the crew yesterday. Going up against Sonny Gray, a pitcher that they are very familiar with. And Sonny Gray, well, he was dealing yesterday. 6 1/3, 3 hits, just a couple Ks, but a lot of ground balls in the infield. And that's the type of pitcher that he is. Shane Drowan, going 2 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks. Again, walks will kill you. We saw it with Mizorowski the night before. And Drowan was off to a nice start, but then the walks kind of creeping up there. But nonetheless, the Brewers not able to get really any offense going yesterday and helping out their pitchers and such. So Brewers dropping their first series of the season. Bryce Terang missing the last couple of games. What he provides from an offensive side of things, that's obviously a big loss when he's not in the lineup. He's been dealing with some tendonitis in his ankle. Doesn't sound too serious. In fact, he's expecting to be back in the lineup tomorrow when the Brewers hit the field against the Nationals at American Family Field. So Brewers 2 weeks into the season now, sitting at 8-4. When you look at the standings in the National League Central, you got both the Brewers and the Reds sitting there at 8-4. Reds holding a little bit of the tiebreaker here. But you got the Pirates at 7-5. You got the Cardinals at 7-5. The Cubs now are back to 500, sitting at 6-6. When you look at it compared to the rest of Major League Baseball, there is no other division that has every team at least 500 or higher right now. And probably not too surprised, and it is only 2 weeks into the season and such, but maybe a little bit surprised with the Cardinals, a couple games above 500, because I think a lot of us assume that, okay, it's kind of a rebuilding year, and a lot of things can change. There's no question about it. But right now, at least in the early goings of this season, the NL Central looking to be a competitive group right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates always start hot, and they'll tail off eventually. And like you said, the Cardinals aren't expected to be good. But it's kind of fun seeing the Cubs in last place. So
yeah, you always got to mention that, right? Right now, Cubs are in last place. To all of our Cubs fans who are listeners, we like you. We may not love you, but we like you. But the Cubs are in last place. Hey, really quick, this is cool. I got a quick text. Pat is listening to us from the Minneapolis airport, heading to Vegas. Go Badgers! I think the whole plane is North Dakota fans. So. Well, we appreciate you too, Pat, from the air. Are you actually going to the game then, Pat? I mean, if you're going to Vegas, because that's where the Frozen Four is. Yeah. So are you actually going to go to the game, Pat? So, but that's cool. Thanks for tuning in from over there. We appreciate that, man. So, but they're getting ready. See, this is I got to have this up. Always like this. The Masters, the honorary tees, they're getting Jack's walking up to the tee right now. So I gotta have that up right now and watch that. So, but what have your first impressions been so far? The first 2 weeks of this Brewers season. I know yesterday we were talking about the Miz, because he's the only pitcher who's gotten 3 starts so far for the Brewers. One of the league leaders in strikeouts and such. Does have some walk issues in that, but has he hit your expectations? Has he met them? Has he underperformed? How would you assess what we've seen so far from 3 starts from Jacob Misiorowski? I
definitely like what I see. I mean, you can definitely tell he's trying to spot pitches this year more than just throw 104 down the middle. Mm-hmm. And I think that's cool to see, because he'll last longer that way. His arm will last longer. He'll be able to pitch longer. And you're seeing it. I mean, last year we couldn't rely on him to make it more than 4 innings.
Yeah.
And he's definitely made it into
he's
the
over
fifth.
90s and 100 just his last one.
So he's definitely improved from last year. And I think he's by far our best pitcher. I think Kyle Harrison's good.
Yeah.
But I think he's met my expectations so far.
Yeah, I think I would put it up there too. And, I think the biggest thing, what you kind of mentioned there too, is maybe on the early goings, a little bit better control from a consistency standpoint. And I think we saw in that other game, and he got charged with the laws, but I don't want that to overshadow how well he was pitching in that game with 10 Ks. And I think it got to the point where, and this is a thing with the Miz kid, that hopefully it gets better with more experience. When that fatigue starts to set in, his mechanics kind of go off the rails a little bit, and that's where he got in trouble with those walks and such. But I know he gets charged with the loss and such. But before that inning, I mean, he was dealing striking out the first 5 batters in that, and that's it lived up to its billing with Misiorowski and Garrett Groschetz that we thought was going to be a pitching duel.
I mean, 3 runs can win you a game. If you allow 3 runs as a pitcher, you can win the game. And I'd say for the Brewers, they should win that game just because of how they play. So it's a tough loss to take, but 10 strikeouts is impressive. Yeah, again, he walked his last 3 batters, but if you take away those 3 batters, he had 1 walk. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, you don't see the whole picture if you just look at his stat line. So he pitched better than it appears.
Right. Yep. I would agree. I would agree with that. So, but overall too, I mean, run differential for this team is still up there, even after getting blanked yesterday. They're stealing a ton of bases right now, which I think we all expected or wanted to see from this team so far. So, yes, we're coming off of their first series loss and that, but overall, I mean, if we did like a 2-week progress report grade, I mean, I'm putting it up there as probably like a B or so, B plus, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're scoring runs, they're winning games. I mean, I'll take an 8-4 start. Obviously, you wanted to beat a struggling Red Sox in the series, but you're going to lose a series every once in a while. So an away series in Boston isn't going to hurt you.
Right. So, Jack Nicklaus just shanked it left. Had to yell for a little bit there. So Gary Player, for his age, that dude looks like he's in great shape. To even doing a karate kick after that too. So, oh man, but yeah. Anyway, back to the big. Yeah, I'm gonna give you updates here. Tom Watson's now teeing off here too. So, so they get the off day today. We get Chad Patrick back on the mound getting a start. And that's the thing with, Shea Drone getting the start yesterday. And I hope fans aren't too hard on him from his performance, because I thought he started off nicely in the first couple. And he's a guy, I think, too, that is at this point in time of his career probably only going to give you a couple innings just because of how he's been worked and such. And, he started off, I thought, really well for making his major league debut, not only against the team that traded him, but for crying out loud, it's Fenway Park, so the nerves are going to be there and such. And it just, again, I think it got to the point, maybe got a little bit in his head, got those walks, and I think there's talent there. I think there's something to build off of that. Same with Brandon Sprouts, going forward too. So a little bit of a slow start for those guys, but nonetheless, I still think there's a lot of, I think, optimism with those two younger pitchers. And you mentioned Kyle Harrison, who I think has been off to a really good start too.
Coming into the year, I think the discussion was whether Drouin was going to be a starter or relief pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So, if he's Ashby and can give you 2 solid innings, you'll take that.
Right.
But like you said, it's an emotional first start from the team who traded you at historic Fenway Park. Not much bigger you can get than that, and I think he handled his emotions well. 2 scoreless to start the game, and it got away from him in the third. But if he is truly a relief pitcher, it's going to get away from you in the third.
Right.
So I'll take a 2-inning start from him.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, tell you what, let's take a quick break here. Continue to send us your picks for the Masters and such. Who you going to be rolling with here this morning? We'll get back to some more baseball talk. We got plenty of hockey talk, hoops talk, all that good stuff. And it's a Takeover Thursday, so don't forget, if you have a topic in mind that you'd like to throw out for the rest of the listeners and that, please send them on over. We'll take a quick break and be right back in just a couple minutes. As the fields come back to life, it's time for spring sports in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're stepping up to the plate, hitting the track, or getting back on the field, make sure that your body is ready to perform. At Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, their team specializes in keeping athletes of all ages healthy, strong, and in the game. From injury prevention to expert care and recovery, they've got you covered every step of the season. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Let's get back to the game with confidence. Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, helping you move better, play stronger, and staying in the game. We've got C-Bomb saying, not really a topic, but it's a topic for discussion. As baseball fans, the semantics bother me when I think about it. When we say the Brewers are 4 games over 500, we are technically not correct. If they would have lost those 4 games, we would say there are 4 games under 500, correct? If the Brewers lost 2 of those 4 games, we would say they are 500. So technically they are 2 games over 500, not 4 games over 500. 12 games, 500 is 6 wins. The Brewers have 8. In my brain, they are 2 games over 500. I bring this up now because you have intern Carter there, and I know how much you love math. Well, okay. So here's the simple Google explanation for this for you, C-Bomb, is teams are described as having a 500 winning percentage when their record is even because it represents the decimal equivalent of winning 50% of their games. In sports, this ratio is expressed to 3 decimal places, similar to batting averages rather than a percentage. While mathematically a percentage is 50%, sports tradition uses a decimal format. A team with 12 wins and 8 losses has a record of 600. 12 divided by 20, which is often described as 4 games over 500 because they are 4 wins ahead of their even record. Don't let that bother you too much, man. We don't need to get into a math thing because I hate math. If it doesn't involve an NFL salary cap, don't talk to me about it. I can't figure it out because then I feel awful about how crappy I am at math. I got to use a calculator for everything, for crying out loud. So. You like math?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
All right. Hate it. I hated. There's this advanced math stuff that I've never used in my life, but we got to learn it in school and all that, and still to this day, don't know how I passed my math class in college that allowed me to move on. No idea how I did it, but somehow I did, so I didn't have to retake it. So. And the worst of it all, I'm sorry, is physics because it combines chemistry and science and math together, and that is the worst. I can't do it. Can't do it. So, texter, don't have a name, but says Sam Burns, 72 to 1 odds. So, keep your Masters picks coming. If you'd like, hit us up, 715-830-1912. With back to baseball, though, here for just a skosh, with 2 weeks into the season here, who has been maybe the surprise team for you so far? We've got the Reds at 8-4. We went through the NL Central. Reds, Brewers 8-4, Pirates 7-5, along with the Cardinals, Cubs 6-6. You got the Braves at 8-5, the Marlins, Mets 7-5, Phillies at 500 at 6-6. Dodgers 9-3, just kind of doing their thing. The rest of the division, you got the Padres, Diamondbacks, and Rockies at 6-6. Giants 5-8. Yankees 8-3. Baltimore's 6-6. Tampa's 5-7. Toronto's 5-7. Red Sox now 4-8. You got Cleveland sitting there at 8-5. The Twins sitting there at 500 at 6-6. Royals 5-7. Rangers 7-5. Angels 6-7. Mariners, a very popular pick to go to the World Series, beginning their season at 4-9. I think in terms of maybe like a pleasant surprise for how they've begun, I'd actually go Twins at 6-6 to be 500 right now. You ask a Twins fan, there wasn't a whole lot of optimism and excitement for this ball club, and I think I saw a video the other day. There wasn't a whole lot of fans at Target Field either. But I'd probably throw the Twins as a nice surprise to begin the season at 6-6. So far.
Yeah, they were not expected to be good at all this year, so that's a win for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe as a little bit of a disappointment, I probably would go with the Mariners because they were a very popular pick to represent the American League to go to the World Series, and it is definitely early in the season, but I mean 4-9 to begin the year. Now they're on a 5-game losing streak as well, so I'd probably throw the Mariners as maybe the most disappointing start. You could throw the Red Sox in there too because they obviously had some insane high expectations for this year too. So
I also think the Giants at 5-8,
yeah,
after spending some money, is kind of rough.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So otherwise, I mean, everything else, I mean, it's kind of, yeah, you got a lot of teams that are hovering around the 500 mark and such, but I mean, Yankees, I don't think that surprises anybody. Definitely not the Dodgers with what they're doing. Other than that, yeah, I mean, Braves were a popular pick too. So everything else kind of feels like it's playing to the script at this point. But, so we were wondering, I wanted to bring this up because Nashville Sounds, right, with the whole Cooper Pratt signing, and obviously that was made official just a couple days ago. How would that affect where a guy like Jet Williams was going to play in Nashville? And yesterday I saw the lineup card getting brought up in there and such. Jet Williams is playing center field right now for the Nashville Sounds because Cooper Pratt obviously is getting the reps at shortstop, which good. I mean, if he's going to sign that long-term deal and he's going to be their future shortstop, get him those reps. But you had Brock Wilken over at third base, so it's like, well, where's Jet Williams going to be? And he's been getting some more reps in center field and getting some reps in the outfield right now, and I think that's something you and I kind of threw out there. Where was Jet Williams going to get the majority of his playing time? And, well, at least yesterday, dude's playing center field for the Nashville Sounds. Maybe that's going to be the easy way up for him to get to the major league level at this point. Because I still feel like he's going to be playing for the Brewers at some point this year.
Yeah, right now, Blake Perkins and Lockridge are just brutal watches when they get to the plate. And again, we talked about this before. We don't have a ton of prospects in the outfield coming up. They're all stacked into the infield. So to move one of the outfield, especially starting in AAA, is going to be important. Not only for this year, but future years, because Yelich is getting older.
Yep.
I mean, Frelick, we still haven't signed. That needs to get done. And Garrett Mitchell can't stay healthy. Right now he is. And so transitioning him to the outfield is going to look good in the long run. But I also think we could use him this year, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know who's having a absolutely brutal start to their AAA season is Brock Wilken. Holy moly. 18 strikeouts in 9 games, and he's hitting 0.34 with an OPS of 205. Oof. That's rough. That is a rough start for Brock Wilken. Holy moly. Jet Williams is just hitting 147 here too, but he's got, to put a comparison, the next highest guy in terms of strikeout numbers is Greg Jones at 9, and Kiro's got 9. Brock Wilken's double that, for crying out loud. Oof, he's really struggling.
Some tough starts for some of our prospects then.
Yeah, it is. Holy moly. So, but yeah, it kind of makes sense because they still got Jet Williams as third base here, but I think you're going to see him continue to get more reps in the outfield at this point. So, and honestly, you look at it. We got Fisher with the Timber Rattlers right now, but his stock is insanely high coming off the World Baseball Classic. I think, Brock Wilken, obviously a power bat over there too. Who knows where Made is going to kind of transition to. I think it is Jet Williams. Maybe the future for him is kind of nailing down one of those outfield spots. So, and if he could play center field, I feel like you could probably play any spot in the outfield at that point and add that versatility. So, okay, we got to take our final break as we start to wrap up the first hour. Keep your picks up. And also, with it being Masters Thursday, we're just kind of having a nice little fun icebreaker question. Where is or what is number one on your sports bucket list item? What's number one? Is it the Masters? Is it Augusta National? Is it something else, somewhere else? Because is it a stadium? Is it a team that you'd like to see? Is it an athlete? What is it? We all have it. Share it with the rest of the class, okay? All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll wrap up the first hour after these quick words. Spring is here, and it's the perfect time for a fresh start and a new ride. Whether you're planning some road trips or tackling some weekend projects, or you're just ready for something new, and now is the time to upgrade. At Toys and Ford, you'll find a great selection of trucks, SUVs, and cars built to fit your lifestyle and your budget. Plus, their team is here to make your car buying experience easy and stress-free. This spring, drive something that you love. Toys and Ford, your next adventure starts here. We got about 10 minutes left to the top of the hour. I was looking at MLB.com, and because if you've been kind of following along with the Brewers and such, by the way, today, I think they already kind of dropped it. If you're into the swag thing for the Brewers, the City Connect jerseys, or I guess we could call it State Connect ones. I mean, they've been teasing it, but if you go, it doesn't look like they have it on their sites. But they did, but they had the hats as a banner. So I don't know if that was an accident, but I know they're supposed to this morning, and maybe they already did. But anyways, MLB.com has, because we got the Jacob Mizorowski bobblehead that is just like all over the place. That's getting, if you're going to the game on this weekend, is it Saturday, Sunday? I think it's Saturday. Don't quote me. But I am curious how many people are just going to get those and put them on eBay and try to make a fortune and such. But MLB.com's got the best promotional giveaways for each team. And if you're wondering what the Brewers is, I would agree 100% with it. It's the bar dice sets. That to me is, you're too young, intern, but it's the leather box with the dice in there. I mean, for crying out loud, when you get a little older, you'll probably understand it more. But Brewers, Adam McCulvey said after last year's cribbage board became a viral hit, the Brewers are back with another Wisconsin favorite pastime, bar dice. Odds are good that you know the game if you celebrated your 21st birthday somewhere in the state, or have you ever heard the phrase, horse on you? But for the uninitiated, the rules are fairly simple. Make a strong hand with 3 shakes and then sit back and watch your friends battle it out for the honor of buying the next round. The leather cup is embolized with the Brewers State of Wisconsin alternate logo, and the dice are blue and yellow. That is definitely a home run. I wish I could get one of those, and I wish we could do something similar to that for our golf outing, because it'd be the same weekend and such. But that is a cool one over there. Do you, when you go to games, are you all about the free swag, getting it? Are you a bobblehead person or anything like that, intern?
I mean, I'll take it if they're giving them out. I don't necessarily pick out games
for the giveaways.
Yeah. But I'll take it if they're giving it out.
I wish I was more of a bobblehead person. I tried to be, but then it's just not my forte. It's not. I think they're cool on that, but I ended up getting rid of a lot of my bobbleheads. I wish that's one thing I wish for my man cave and that I was more into bobbleheads, because I think they're so easy to collect. They're expensive, but they're easy to, if that was a thing that you wanted to collect, I mean, goodness gracious, there's options all over. Now, with it being golf, in high school, I was not famous. It was well known I had a Tiger Woods bobblehead in my locker. It was a Masters Tiger Woods bobblehead, and I still have that bobblehead in my mag. That's the one I still have. I have that and a Vince Lombardi and a Bob Uecker one. That Bob Uecker one. 2 Bob Uecker ones. That one, the Harry Doyle one, and actual one from the Express, and a Hank Aaron one from the Express game too. So that's what I've got in my man cave. I used to have a lot more, but that's one thing I wish I was just more into. So Eli says it's not a specific event, but the overall college football traditions, like Penn State's whiteout game and the Iowa waving to the Children's Hospital, would like to go to that game on bucket list and such. Yeah, those are good ones too. Those are definitely good ones. Keep coming with your bucket list items and such. But if anybody's going to the Brewers game, let me know. I'd be curious if you do get a Jacob Mizorowski one, how sweet. It does look pretty sweet, but yeah. So, I got caught reading one of them that you have up there. Like a Ben Zobrist bobblehead. How is that the best that the Cubs could do on April 11th? That's the best that you could do.
They got to reinvigorate their team. They're 6-6.
Come on, Cubs. That's your best giveaway, for crying out loud. Jeez Louise. We could do better than that, can't we? Man. But, all right. Coming up next hour, we'll talk a little bit of hoops as we are nearing the end of this Buck season. Just 2 games left to go. The home finale tomorrow. If Giannis is healthy, do you play him? Do you play him? Do you play him for maybe as a goodbye sort of thing? What do you do? And John Horst now has some comments. We've been hearing from Giannis. We've been hearing from Doc Rivers a little bit about his future. And now John Horst has chatted a little bit with the media, the Bucks general manager. So we'll tell you what he had to say, including Giannis's comments about couples therapy with him and John. So we'll go through that coming up here in just a little bit, some of the comments that may have stood out a little bit more. So, but yes, Biz is signing 5 out of the 25,000 too. Yep, that was thrown out there too. So, but what would you do with the Giannis situation? Would you throw him out there, let him play with his two brothers in case it is the last time, or not? And continue to send us your Masters picks. What are your predictions? We've got Bryson is the popular pick right now for a lot of people out there. So if that's who you're rolling with, keep sending those on over. You got somebody different, let us know. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know. A few of you said that there's going to be 5. Yep, we just mentioned that for the Jacob Mizorowski autographed ones. So, but I don't know. I can't sell that stuff. Like, if I went there and I got a Miz one, I couldn't sell it. Unless I was really strapped for cash. But if I was really strapped for cash, I'm probably not buying a ticket to go to a ball game. So, I don't know. I'm not. If I'm going there, I want to keep it, or I'll give it to my kid or something. The autograph hounds to get money in that is just, I see it every year when we go to Packers training camp and seeing adults going up there and trying to outrun kids. It's like that grinds my gears. Enough is enough with that stuff, people. So, but all right, we only got a couple of minutes left here. So, plus it is a Takeover Thursday. Send us your topics if you got something that you'd like to throw out there as a possibility for us to chat about. We're still continuing to take your bucket list. We have a few more of those picks. Super Bowl has been a pick from a couple of you. Raymond says Tour de France. That's an interesting one. So,
yeah, weird.
He says, I know, I'm weird. Jod says USA softball on home turf. Patrick says Masters for sure. So, yeah, I'd say Masters and Super Bowl are probably the two highest ones. Do you have one really? You don't have to say it right now, but do you have one in mind that you've always thought about?
Yeah, there's a couple.
There's a couple? Okay. All right. We'll have a little bit of a tease there. So we'll get to more of those coming up here in just a little bit too. So a few more people saying if Giannis is healthy, yes, let him play with his brothers for the home finale, since it will be his final home game, says Chris. Dave says if he's healthy, play him for a little bit. Let him play with his brothers on the court so he can hopefully be happy about that and maybe re-sign with the team. So, okay. Oh, also Enough is Enough Thursday, so send those on over too if you've got Enough is Enough. That's because we had Mark texted a little bit earlier. My Enough is Enough is with all the Bucks drama. I can't wait for the season to be over with. Enough is enough. Let's just get to the offseason so we know what's actually going to happen with Giannis, Doc, and the entire franchise. I could co-sign on that.
Yeah.
Let's just get to it. Not that it's going to happen during a long playoff season for basketball, but I love the rumors out there now that, Giannis is complimenting Mazzulla, the coach of the Celtics, and now what's popped up? Oh, the Celtics want Giannis.
Who doesn't?
Right. And I'm sorry, but let's be realistic in this thing too. Can they pair him up with Tatum and Brown? Probably not. I would assume probably not, unless he does a KD thing and, takes like some pay cut sort of thing when KD was the Warriors or whatever. But I don't see that either. But who knows at this point. All right, shot clock's going to cut us off. We got some news updates, and we'll be right back after these quick words. Second quarter kicks off right now on this Masters Thursday, this Thursday morning of April 9th. Thanks for hanging out with us. No matter where you're hanging out or listening to us from, let's do a little bit of a roll call. Once in a while we do this. Just kind of curious to see where everybody's at, how you're listening to us and such. So where are you at? What are you doing? How you listening? All right, hit me up. Hit us up. Quick text, 715-830-1912. While you're texting or you're on the Section 105 chat room, it looks like we've got Brandon and Matt over there right now dishing it out and chatting and such. So you can join the fellows over there. But let us know where you're at, what you're doing, all that good stuff. But we've got some Masters picks. C-Bomb says Colin Morikawa, if his back can hold up. They are out on the course right now, so the first group is out there. First couple groups, I think, are going to be out there and such. So, but continue to send your picks for your Masters, who you think is going to win. Speaking of it being the Masters, we are looking for what is your number one sports bucket item list. What would be number one for you? Like, is it a game, a certain game? Is it a stadium? Is it that sort of stuff? What you got? All right, let me know. Hit me up, 715-830-1912. Intern Carter over there donning the Badger hockey jersey, getting sets for the Frozen 4 matchup against North Dakota later on, early evening and such. What is one of your, just give me one right now, one of your bucket list. We'll get to the other ones, but if you got a list, what's one of them for you?
Just an NFL game.
You haven't been to an NFL game? Intern Carter,
game.
we got to get you to an NFL game.
So that's what I'd love to do, yeah.
We got to make that happen.
Go fund me.
Go, man. All right. You haven't even been to like a preseason game or anything? Okay.
I've been to the pro shop at Lambeau Field. That's about as far in as I've got.
So you haven't done like a stadium tour or anything like that? Okay, we got to change that. Well, we got to send intern Carter to some sort of game. We got to make this happen. Would you be up for going to a preseason game just to experience it?
I would just tour Lambeau Field at this point.
Okay. We got to make this happen. It is my mission to make this happen, that you get to see Lambeau Field, because you haven't even just seen Lambeau Field in person.
Mm-mm.
All right, we're going to make this happen. We got to make this happen somehow, some way. I'm going to work on it for you. All right, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I can't guarantee regular season, but I'm going to work on this for you. Actually, I'm going to work on it this morning for you. So we'll see. But what else? What's everybody else's bucket list? It's Packer game, right?
Yeah.
Packer NFL game.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, I would. C-Bob says, intern Carter to an NFL game. It shall be done. Fire up the party bus. We'll make it happen. So we gotta. It's like it could be like almost like a bachelor party sort of thing for you. Like you gotta, get the Lambeau Field check off on your list there, man.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I did not know that you have not. Okay.
I've been to a Brewer game. I've been to a Wild game.
And
then a Badgers hockey game. That's all the sporting events I've been to.
Okay. We got to. We'll make this happen. If you are at least open to bare minimum a preseason game, we're going to make it happen.
Yep.
Deal?
Yeah.
You're up for it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get this done. We're going to get it done because we make dreams happen. So that's what we do. Right, C-Bomb? Right? There you go. So, but hey, the first Packer game I went to, I was 18, 19. I that was the only opportunity I had to go. Was a preseason game. It would have been 05 was my first one. Yeah, because it was Patriots. Got to see Tom Brady. The only time I saw Tom Brady. But that was only the only chance I got was, nobody would take me as a kiddo. It was tarnished.
Yeah, my brother's been to 2.
And your brother, that just makes it worse.
It does, yes. And he's only 3 years older than me.
Come on.
So.
All right. Yep. I'm on it. I'm on it for you. We got to get this thing done. So, that just floored me now. I'm kind of lost. But the thing is, like, okay, so my first one, and then it was like as soon as I was an adult and on my own kind of sort of thing, even in college, I was going all the time. Like that was my thing. I'll tell it. People make fun of me. Preseason games are fun to go to because not many reasons. One, usually the weather's decent. It's like August. It's warm. You can get away with wearing shorts and short sleeve and that. You don't have to worry about the outcome of the game. You're not stressing yourself out about, God, we need to win this game, or like, oh, I hate these Vikings fans. You don't have to worry about that. It's preseason. Nobody gives a rip about the outcome of the game. 3, hopefully nobody gets hurt. That's kind of the main thing. But yeah, you may not see starters in that, but you kind of do depending on walking around or whatever. But it's also, even though it's a preseason game, the environment is just like a regular season game. Tailgating, the stadium's full like a regular season game. So it's not like you're going there and it's an empty Lambeau Field. It's like, oh, I don't even get that experience. Wrong. Preseason is still full at Lambeau. It's not like Chicago where they can't even get like 1,000 people to show up to their family. For crying out loud, family night. Yeah. I mean, I've done that. That's also a lot of fun. The only thing I don't like about family night is if it does rain, then you're screwed. You don't even get a refund. So, I mean, you get Hall of Fame passes and that. Have you been in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Now we're in my wheelhouse because I like setting people up for this and giving. I swear, if I retire, I will be probably a Hall of Fame tour guide or a Lambeau Field tour person. That's what a lot of those people do. Like when they're done, you go do it. They're like, yeah, we retired and this is what we do now. I'm like, oh, I could be that. My dream job is Cliff Crystal's job, which is the Packers team historian.
Oh, wow.
And I've talked to Cliff. Okay, I'm going to brag about this for a second. So Cliff used to cover the Packers as a writer. He is now the team historian and such. But a few years ago, Northern Wisconsin State Fair, they had the Lambeau Field traveling exhibit for the 100 year. And I had interviewed and talked to Cliff for a couple times. And so I met him and just did another interview, first time person to person. So I went, and he was doing a presentation. And because I was talking about him about a project I was trying to do and such, because a preseason game for the Packers actually was played on the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in Chippewa Falls. And it technically was the first appearance of Don Hudson. And I'm a big Don Hudson fan. That was his first game. And they played against the Chippewa Marines, which was just a town team in Chippewa Falls. Wow. But I thought it was like, I mean, where, this is where my mind goes, that field, by the fairgrounds, to just try to imagine Curly Lambeau coaching, Johnny Blood McNally playing on the Chippewa team because he was trying to get back on the Packers team to try to impress them. Don Hudson's playing in his first game as a preseason. It's just mind-boggling to see what that looks like now, and that those were football players back in the day. But anyways, he was doing a presentation. He was talking about something like that, and he stops, and he looks at me because I was sitting over there. He's like, did I get that right, Dan? I'm like, oh, like, yep, yeah. I nodded, yeah. I was like, history nerd for me. That was pretty cool.
That's when you know you've made it.
I was like, and everybody's like, who the hell are you? So that was cool. But I would love that job. That would be sweet. That would. Lee Remmel used to do it. Longtime PR. Used to write for the Packers too. And yeah, that's a good one. C-Bomb says we're gonna get you to a regular season game. So we're gonna do a lot of stuff to break this Packers thing for you. It's my mission now to help out intern Carter. So, all right. On that note, let's regroup. Take a quick break here. Keep these coming. All right, keep these coming. We do have one. I'll throw it out here as a quick break for our Takeover Thursday. Ben had said Takeover Thursday question, since it's the Masters, who would be the foursome that you would want to go golfing with at Augusta National? They still have to be around. Well, I'm assuming it'd be yourself and then 3 others. So, all right. I'll throw that out to everybody else too. What would be that foursome that you'd go golf with at Augusta National? Thanks for the text, man. Quick break. I'll make my picks. Carter will make his picks. Everybody will make their picks. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Looking for the perfect place to kick back this spring and summer? Well, then you need to head on over to the VFW Post 305, Eau Claire's go-to spot to relax, grab a drink, and enjoy the moment. Inside, it's a great place to meet up with friends, but when that weather warms up, it's all about the patio. With one of the best river views in town, there's no better place to soak up the sunshine, unwind after work, or spend a weekend afternoon. Cold beverages, great people, and a view that you can't beat, man. VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire, your spot to hang out this season. Probably your go-to spot today if you want to go check some of the rounds, check a little bit, watch a little bit of the Masters and that, or maybe watch some Badger hockey, the Frozen Four tonight. Again, 4 o'clock, going up against North Dakota. So if you're looking for somewhere to hang out and watch that, go ahead and go over there. We've got to give a shout out to our one of our awesome partners, great friends of the program, Clay from Service Master. Service Master, also one of our mobile man cave partners, dropping off coffee for staff here in the building. So a big thanks to Clay for that. Getting caffeinated up for a long day of golf and some hockey tonight. So speaking of golf, do you have you golf a little bit, right?
I do.
Yes. All right.
I do.
So you could have 3 people join you for a round at Augusta National. Okay. Could be anybody. That's got to be around, right? Alive. Well, I think that's what they meant by around, the texter. Who would those 3 people be?
It's a hard one for me. I'd probably go Bryson DeChambeau.
Ooh, okay.
For one of them. The problem is, I don't know if I want, the greats with me or, do I want Tiger Woods with me?
Or somebody from a different sport, maybe?
That's true. I could do that.
Go do that. Because I would have Tiger with me. I know it's probably a sore subject right now, but he would just absolutely annihilate me. But just to say that I golfed with one of the best golfers of all time and a guy that I still, to this day, for my age, was probably one of the most influential, if not the most influential athlete during I always say this, he made it cool for me and many others to go golf. So I would put Tiger as one of mine just because of that.
All right, give me Tiger Woods, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Mahomes.
You are a Patrick Mahomes guy?
I am a Patrick Mahomes
guy. Carter. No, I'm just kidding. Current people right now, I'd have Tiger. You know what? This is going to sound kind of corny. I would take my kid, even though he's kind of into golf a little bit. Probably not the greatest for a soon-to-be 9-year-old. But hey, if it's now, I'm going to take my kid with me. And then, I need a little bit of comedic relief probably. So I might go. I don't know. I got to think about this one because this is tough now. Tiger, my kid. I got to think about that last one. I'll get back to you on that one. I got to think about it because it's tough. I'm trying to think of Bill Murray, everybody's going to pick. And that would be a good one, but I don't know if I want to go Bill Murray. I might go Jordan just to see the competitiveness between him and Tiger. My kid would hate it because he is a LeBron fan, so me and him always fight about this. He'll get there. He'll understand at some point that Jordan is the GOAT, the GOAT. So, but good one. Hey, appreciate that text for our Takeover Thursday. Send those on over for the rest of you. Who would be in your foursome? As we had a texter say that if you could pick foursome to go to play around at Augusta National, who would it be? And they got to be around right now. So let's talk a little bit of hoops. So obviously there's been a lot of talk surrounding the Bucks. Giannis has talked a lot. Doc has talked a little bit. And now we hear from John Horst, who this was from Eric Name, who did a little Q&A with him from The Athletic. And, I'll just go through a couple of them. One of the questions was, Giannis has mentioned that you need couples therapy or counseling. I'd be curious what you think of that, whether you feel like you've done things right or wrong professionally. How do you feel about him believing this is a strained relationship? How does that affect you? And John Horst answered, kind of lengthy here, but says, I have never and will never speak for Giannis. Never tried to, never wanted to, only supported him, only cared for him. And I will continue to do that because it's real. I think this is the first time in 10 years we're going to miss the playoffs. It's not the first time in 10 years that we didn't win a championship, but it's the first time in 10 years that I think realistically, by the time we got to the end of the regular season, we haven't felt like we had a chance, right? We may have had points at the beginning of seasons, middle of seasons, in a playoff series where we just found out we're not as good as we thought we were. For whatever reason, injuries, mix, whatever. But at the end of almost every year or every regular season we've had so far, we're in a really good spot to do something. If we're healthy, we're going to have a chance. Best player in the world, all those things. And so that's tough. During all those successes and all those things that we've been able to ride through together as an organization, as a star player, as a general manager, as a supporting cast, coaches, there's a lot of positive, right? Sometimes there's more bull blank going on than you know. And in these cases, sometimes there's less. But when you're winning, it's really positive. A lot of positive stories, a lot of positive feelings, and it's a lot easier to stay positive and stay supportive and do the right thing. And then when it's really hard because you're losing, you're struggling, no one's happy this season. Doc's been an unbelievable partner for me going through a really tough season. We haven't won a playoff series in 3 years or 4 years, whatever. Well, Doc's been a part of that, and we've had injuries every year. Giannis has been a part of that. I've been a part of that. The teams that we've built, the injuries that we've had, the decisions we've made, we've all been a part of that. And we're all part of this right now. But for me, I don't classify that as a strained relationship. I don't have any less love or respect or belief or gratitude towards Giannis or anyone that works with him. I really don't. I'm going through a tough situation. We are going through a tough situation together, and I'm only trying to find the right outcome. I'm trying to do that together with them, and I'm trying to do what's best for us and best for them, even if it's uncomfortable. But I don't have any ill will. I don't feel a strained relationship. I feel the results of a strange situation of a season that's not where any of us wanted to be. He had hopes of having a great season. He had belief. He's done everything he can. That's absolutely true. I have too. So has Doc. Kind of interesting player he mentions here. So has Kyle Kuzma. We didn't get there. For the first time in 10 years, we didn't get there. Going into the playoffs, we were like, man, we got a chance, and that stinks or that sucks. I'm pretty excited about figuring it out going forward, but right now it sucks. I'm not going to go through every question and such because it is a little bit of a lengthy Q&A here. But one of the things is he was asked, you have 3 draft picks that you can move and have some financial assets. Do you feel empowered to go down that path? John simply says, yes, I do. Follow-up, so you truly believe that both paths, trading Giannis to move in a different direction with those picks, or trading the picks to surround Giannis with better talent, still remain in front of you? John answered, I do, yeah, absolutely. And not only just from my perspective, but I also believe from Giannis's mindset and his perspective, whether we need couples therapy or whatever, the assets will still be there. I do feel empowered that, yeah, those things are viable things for us to look at and consider. He was asked about teams have called about Giannis in the past, but the answer was always definitely no. So why now actually consider offers for him? John responded by saying, I think your characterization is right. The answer of why now is probably all the way back to when you get to these points in tenure with each other. I think it's likely, like Wes said, that you either figure out the path forward and you align and you kind of agree to commit to each other on who you want to be and what looks like, and eventually an extension. Or you just try to find the best resolution for everyone. I think that is just, I think that it's just the why is not that complicated. It's just different now than it might have been 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And that's okay. That doesn't mean the result is going to be different. He was also asked, do you need an assurance from Giannis that he would sign an extension before you begin roster building this offseason? Or do you have the same faith that if you build a team like before, he will extend yet again? John said, I trust and believe what Giannis has said and has been written. I want to win. And if I can win in Milwaukee, that's where I want to be. You know, everything else is conversation, alignment, discussion. And that's for him and that's for us. But 100% believe that Giannis cares about winning and would love to win in Milwaukee. I believe that. Finally, you have some time left on an extension you signed in the spring of 25. How are you approaching any other potential opportunities this offseason? Because he was rumored to be a part of the Pistons' plans last year prior. I've never pursued another opportunity. There have been other inquiries for me in the past, and I'm grateful, humbled by that. It's never really been a consideration for me and my wife. Our kids are from Milwaukee, where they go to school, the church we go to, the sports teams that they play on, their music lessons, going to Fights Forum. As long as I have an opportunity to do this and have the responsibility to try to the best I can for the Bucks, that's all I want to do. So those are some of the comments from, again, Bucks general manager John Horst. With everything from the Q&A from Giannis and Lori Nickel to John Horst now and such, how do you feel about where things stand in Giannis's future with the Milwaukee Bucks?
I don't see him being a Buck past this year. I think some of what's coming out with the Bucks is a little bit of stuff put out by Giannis just so he can play more. And I think once this season ends, he'll calm down a little bit and he'll realize that he was wrong to put out some of it. But the relationship was fractured, and I don't think it's going to be restored anytime soon. I think Giannis at this point is just thinking about his career, and I think he wants to go win a title somewhere. So I do think he leaves, but I wish stuff would stop coming out. Like at some point, just keep it to yourself. We don't need to know Giannis requested trade twice. I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe anything on the Bucks situation right now because Shams has said he wants to trade for 4 years now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe anything, but just stop coming out with stuff and just trade him if you're going to.
Mm-hmm. I think we're at that point for a lot of people, for a lot of Bucks fans. It is very reminiscent, I think, for many people of Rodgers' situation towards the end of his tenure with the Packers and such. I think the one thing that may be a little bit different in this thing is that at least Giannis is publicly saying he wants to win in Milwaukee, whereas towards the end of the Rodgers, I think Rodgers wanted to stay in Green Bay, but was get to the point where he was upset where he just wanted out, essentially. So there's definitely a lot of similarities in that aspect. I'll be honest, I have no idea. I am probably 50-50, and if I'm being completely honest with this whole situation, is probably because a lot of it is I don't want to see him leave. And if I try to take that fan part away, then yeah, I think a lot of those signs point to him probably being gone. I think ultimately, I think it is. I don't think it's a Giannis decision. I really feel like it's the ownership. If they want Giannis and they're committed to Giannis, I think they'll keep him and they'll work out something. But if the Bucks ownership group is like, it's time, then I think they're going to move. I really feel like it's going to come down to what the ownership wants. And I know that probably is the case for a lot of things and a lot of players in that, but the NBA is, I think, a unique animal where a player can really dictate a whole lot. I just think, again, if we take Giannis for what it's worth, it's he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He has publicly said that. And I just think it's up to the final nail in the coffin is going to be what the owners want at this point. If they're tired of all the talk, then I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think let's say tomorrow the Bucks play the Nets. Let's say Giannis starts with Alex and Thanasis.
I think
I
that's a
think
sign that he's gone.
I do too,
Yeah.
but I also think that stops the rumors
Yeah.
because I think Giannis is trying to play, and I think that's all he cares about right now. And so all this stuff coming out, I don't trust any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there's a little bit of a fractured relationship to where Giannis is going to the NBA saying, "I want to play," and I want Giannis back next year. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, the Bucks as a franchise have to look at it and say, is it best for him to be back next year?
Right. Right.
And I don't know if that's a yes.
Yeah. And I think too, part of it is from Giannis's perspective, if privacy is a really big important thing for him and he says Milwaukee's the perfect fit, be careful what you wish for too. If he truly wants out, it's like be careful what you wish for too at that what's more important? Is it another championship or is it the family privacy?
Well, you brought up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to the New York
Right.
and was awful. So Giannis could go somewhere and be bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He's a great NBA player, but that doesn't mean he's going to be successful with other teams.
Right.
So he, like you said, he's got to be careful here because if he goes to a team that doesn't fit the play style that he likes, there's going to be issues with that team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, we got to take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. We'll be right back after these quick words. Road trip season is right around the corner, and are you and your vehicle ready to go the distance? Before you hit the highway, make sure that your vehicle is in top shape with the help from AJM Automotive. From oil changes and tire checks to brakes and engine work, their experienced team will make sure that you're ready for wherever the roads may take you. And now with two convenient locations in Eau Claire, getting your vehicle serviced has never been easier. Plan a trip. AJM Automotive will handle the rest. Just visit ajmautomotiveservices.com to schedule your appointments. I was just perusing some of the comments on the Section 105 chats and such. No, it's, yeah, okay, the jackets. It's from, shout out to our Muldoon's partners for the Kasper Classic. The color is actually, it's something Augusta. So it is something called Augusta. That's why we picked it. I don't think it has it on there. But shout out to John Muldoon who picked it out and such. That's the other question. Who's going to get the green jacket this year for the Kasper Classic? So it is, yeah, what are you talking about, T-Bomb? It is green. It's a little bit of a darker green. So come on, dude. I was looking a little bit earlier, but by the way, Matt, if you're listening, you missed it yesterday. Everybody who's in the Section 105 chat, make sure you tell everybody to follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can get that up there. But Matt said his first Packers game, 1999, Corey Bradford caught the game-winning touchdown from far with 12 seconds left on the clock. It was 22 rows up on a 35-yard line. I want to see if my memory is correct. I hope you're still listening, Matt. Was that the Raiders game? Was that a Raiders game? Was that the Packers versus Raiders? Was that Packers Vikings? It's either Raiders or Vikings, I feel like.
Future Packer historian.
I got it. It was the Ray Rhodes, 99. All roads lead to championships. But I remember watching a game with Favre, the touchdown pass to Corey Bradford at the end. And I feel like it was Raiders or was it Vikings? It was one of the two. I feel like it was the Raiders. I feel like it was the Raiders or Vikings. It's got to be one of those two. But I remember watching it because it was like a seam route or something like that. So maybe it happened both times, but we'll see.
Impressive.
Oh, it was the Vikings. Okay, so it was one of the two. It was like Raiders or Vikings. Yeah, okay. All right. Not quite 100%, but I'll get there. That is the dream job. I would love. The other dream job, it'll never happen because I've been wanting to do this for years that I've been publicly throwing it out there. I would love to be a professor of sports history at a college. You know, UW Green Bay teaches classes and such for that. And you hear all these other colleges and such that have like Star Trek courses and why can't, UW Eau Claire, I'm an alum, help a guy out. Let me teach one class, just one. I just want to be called professor for a day. I think that would be sweet. I would love to teach a sports history class. That's my goal still. So, we're going to get intern to his first Packers game, and then he's going to make that. I still remember mine. Like I said, so this is not a brag or anything, but my first Packer game was actually in a suite.
Wow.
But it was through a work thing, and it was a preseason game, and yeah, it was 05. Javon Walker caught a pass. Then he got hurt week 1. That was the 05 season of how that all played out. I saw, Tom Brady. Corey Dillon was the running back yet for Patriots. Saw good old Bill Belichick and Mike Sherman chatting it up and that. But once I became an adult and got on my own, I've been to probably, in 21 years, I think I've been, if I count preseason games, probably about 50 now. But again, preseason games are cheap. They're easy. It's just, that's what's unique about Green Bay. Preseason games, everybody gives them flack. But if you want the real game experience, you got it there. I love them. I love them because there's no stress about it.
So would you rather sit in the suite or in the actual seating?
I like, if it's a regular season game, in the actual seating. Because then you get the environment, the fans, and it just, you feel like you're a part of it. preseason, you just kind of go back and forth. It's a little bit more casual sort of thing. But regular season, I want and I know like if you go into suites, they can open the window so you have the crowd noise and all that. But there's just something about being in the bleachers, being uncomfortable with those seats, and because now I'm old and my back hurts. But when they score a touchdown, turning around and high-fiving a bunch of strangers.
Yep.
There's just something awesome about that. So, and when I took Hudson to his first regular season game, which was a couple years ago, was when it was the first whiteout game. We were just talking about the whiteout jerseys, and they played the Texans. And that was when McManus hit the walk-off field goal, too.
Yeah.
But it was cool because next to us were actually people from Houston that came to, and I was just talking to them, and anybody who knows my kid knows he doesn't talk to strangers. Like, he is just so quiet. Even with people, still to some of his coaches, he's really quiet. This is how cool it is. It's just something about Lambeau. They went and bought him a cheesehead, even though he has one. But it's like, it's his first game. We got to get him something like that. And, that's what's cool about Lambeau stuff. I will say the other side of me, though, there was some young Texas fan. I don't know where he was from, but he was like dancing like he was at a dance club, and he was eating his brat, Carter, from the top.
What?
Not from the end, from the top. What are you doing, guy? And he didn't even eat it all.
He's from Houston. What do you expect?
I was like, what are you doing? Like, you are an embarrassment, right? Who eats a brat from the top? And like he would like take a few bites, fold it up, put it away. Half hour later, bring it out, do it. I'm like, who are you? Do you even want to be here? Like, I felt embarrassed.
How do you even do that?
That's like watching Seinfeld and they're eating candy with utensils in that one episode. If anybody knows your Seinfeld history, But and I will say I like the new section with the back seats. They're up. I will say this: there is not a bad seat at Lambeau Field. C-Bomb, I don't know if you're still listening and such, but I love the new section because one, comfortable seats, two, like practically no lines for concessions. Yes, they're up higher. I don't care. I don't feel like there's a bad seat at Lambeau. And I just like and no lines for bathrooms, which is probably a big thing too. So I really like the new section. That's where I will go. If I have the choice between, maybe 50-yard line bench, let's say, 50-yard line row 40, but I got on the bench and then the newer section, I'd probably pick the new section. It's just, it's so much more comfortable and more convenient for everything.
There you go.
So just giving you a little bit when you go. You get the chance to go. So, what's Matt saying? I won't sit anywhere that isn't the lower bowl, 100 level. I am not paying for that and sitting in the nosebleed. New section, man. I'm telling you, it's worth it for the concessions and the bathrooms and the comfortability. Just especially when it's late season, December and January, and everybody's wearing 5 layers, then you literally can't sit on a bleacher because you're in there tightly packed. There was a game against Minnesota a couple years ago. I literally had to stand the whole time because you couldn't sit because everybody was just bundled up. So, not that there was a big problem with that, but sometimes I'd like to have a little bit of a break and sit down. So,
yeah.
But, all right, since we're on the topic, if anybody wants to share, I mean, it is a Takeover Thursday. What was your first Packers game? My first regular season game was 2005, end of the year, Packers Seahawks, where everybody thought Favre was retiring. That was the year Seahawks went to the Super Bowl too, and Packers won that game. But psych, he didn't retire. So, okay, we'll take a quick break. Be back with plenty more coming up after these quick words. Just a few minutes left to the top of the hour. We had John chiming in here quick with his first Packers game was, excuse me, choked up on the air there. 2008 over at the Metrodome. Rodgers' first career start at the Metrodome, and they lost by a Mason Crosby field goal. So I was actually at Rodgers' first career start as a Packer. All by accident. Bought the tickets because it was supposed to be, again, I was in college, probably using financial aid money. You did hear that. Didn't buy a book that year probably and got tickets because that's the same price. But it was supposed to be Favre's ceremony, name and not, because his face is on the ticket. And then he came back and such, and we all know what happened there. But still glad I went. I went originally just to see Favre and that, but it was... So I was at Favre's last game as a Packer, the playoff game in that frigid cold. I was at Rodgers' first game as a starter as a Packer. And then I was at the last game that Favre visited as a visitor to Lambeau Field, which is still the weirdest game I've ever been to. The amount of hate that you could just feel in that stadium was something I've never really probably experienced since then. That final Packers-Vikings game with Favre and seeing him limping because he was hurt the length of the field to just a shower of boos will forever be ingrained in my head. It was just weird. Never thought I'd see something like that. So I kind of wanted to see it with Rodgers just to see the reaction, but that's not going to happen. So, all right. I've been to one Packers game that was not at Lambeau, and that was Metrodome when Favre broke the touchdown pass record. That was all by accident, too. Because me and my college buddies, this is when you could buy Vikings and Packers tickets without having to be forced to buy a preseason ticket. We just decided in the summer, hey, let's go to that game. It was like September. Tickets were like $20 a piece or something. Wow. And then I remember watching the Chargers game, Packers-Chargers, the week before. We were all watching it. It was at Lambeau, and Favre could have broke the record. But they kneeled it down because they had already won the game, and we're like, holy crap, we're going to see it. And we could have sold our tickets for, made hundreds of dollars, and we're like, no, we're going to go. So, one of the best games I've ever been at. So, but, good memories, good times. So, we're going to get you there, Carter. We're going to get you there. So, all right, just a couple minutes left. Who would be in your golf foursome? We had a texter ask that to the rest of you. It has to be somebody, or has to be people that are current. I'm still thinking about my final fourth one. C-Bob said Favre, Warren Sapp, and myself. Like me. You don't want that. I've golfed with you before, C-Bob. You already know what that's like. So, I still don't know my fourth. I don't want it to be an athlete, I don't think. If it were an athlete, it'd probably be honest, to be honest with you. Or the greatest baseball player of all time, Sal Frelick. You know what? I might go Pat Murphy.
Oh,
I don't know if he golfs, but I might do Pat Murphy.
I didn't even think about him.
I think, you know what? I think I'm going to go that. Tiger, my kid, and Pat Murphy. That's my foursome. Plus me. Because that's a little comedic relief with Pat Murphy in there, too. Yeah, I think that's the route. Again, I don't care if you're a non-golfer, but you get the chance to go to Augusta to play around, you take up golf for the day. I'm sorry. Some people may not understand that or get that, but if you get the chance to go play Augusta National for 18 holes, you take that any day of the week. What are some of your bucket list locations, places, sports, things that you would like to do? We're going to get interns, other ones coming up here. Mine's the Masters. I got a couple other ones here, but my number one is the Masters. I'd love to go to Augusta National, even in full bloom. If it wasn't the Masters, I would just like to go to Augusta National and walk around the course. Amen corner and all that. But we'll keep sending yours on over. All right, text them or hit us up on the Section 105 chat room. So, of course, if I'm golfing with Tiger, I'm my hole-in-one right there, man. I'm definitely going to tell him that. Heck yeah. All right, halftime. We'll be back after these news updates. All right. Second quarter, or I should say halftime, is over with. We are on to the third quarter on this Thursday morning. Happy Masters opening round to all of our fellow people who celebrate this day. Hopefully you're wearing your green and such and getting ready to watch copious amounts of golf on TV. And this is usually the time, too, where I practice my chipping in my man cave and such because I'm getting into the to the golf mood and that, although I probably could go to a course in that, but I got to do it while I'm watching, obviously, some golf on TV and pretend that I'm Tiger Woods and all that. But nonetheless, send us your predictions on who do you have winning the Masters. They are out on the course this morning. Ola Thawel already out to an early lead through 3. He's 2 under par, so it's a familiar name over there. But, looking at where do the I'm looking at trying to find the groups that I want to watch. Top Masters groups. Pairings. That's what I'm looking for. Tee times pairings. Let's go. Obviously, everybody's going to be going, looking at Rory and that. Scotty Scheffler tees off this afternoon. Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, Brooks Koepka. That would be an interesting one. We've got Freddie Couples. Everybody wants Freddie Couples to win. So do I. Rory, Cameron Young, and Mason Howell later on this morning. Bryson, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Xander Schauffele. That is a fantastic group. I like that group because I'll tell you my pick, Xander Schauffele, but my second pick was actually Bryson DeChambeau. So I don't know if, because you picked DeChambeau, right?
That's who I want to
That's
win.
who you want to win. There's this theory out there based off his age, and I can't even remember it, but I saw it, I think on Instagram or something, where it's like, oh, all this lines up that Bryson's going to win this year. So I'm going to go Schauffele, though. I don't know why. I like Matt Fitzpatrick, too. That is a fun group, 907. Man, I hope that's got to be a featured group, I would think, on Masters to watch. That's a really fun group to watch. But if you want to make your picks, you could text them or join in on the chats. I think we've got Zach's over there. C-Bomb was chiming in a little bit. Brandon's on there. Matt's on there. So join the fellas out there. Scotty Scheffler is a pick that is definitely going chalk with that pick, but you probably won't be wrong either if you pick Scotty Scheffler. So coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll catch up with Jake Boakes, our conservation warden friend. So if you got any questions, maybe for the upcoming turkey season, please text those on over to us at 715-830-1912 on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line this morning. Off day today for the Brew Crew after they dropped their first series against the Boston Red Sox yesterday. So they'll be returning home to face the Washington Nationals starting tomorrow in a 3-game series. Since it is a Takeover Thursday as well, we had a listener. Throw out the question: who would be the foursome that you would take to golf with at Augusta National? Got to be around here too, so send those on over if you like. And we're looking for your sports bucket list items. You mentioned a football game. We're going to try to make that happen. An NFL game, I should say, most specifically. What's another one that you had? You said you had a few of them.
I'd love to go to a Final Four with
Those are
March
fun.
Madness.
That's fun.
And then the only other thing is jump around at Camp Randall. I think would be special.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I've been to a Final Four, so that's off mine. This is, again, going back to my sports history. I'd love to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Cooperstown and Baseball Hall of Fame. I would love to go and visit those. I haven't been there, so I'd like to do that. One that's not around anymore is I just blanked on it. Why did I just blank out? Polo Grounds is an old field.
Yes.
Yeah,
Polo Grounds.
I would. It's not around anymore and such, but man, if I could hop in a DeLorean and get back into the future, I'd go watch a game at the Polo Grounds. I had a kind of for our podcast segment because I was watching Field of Dreams the other day with my kid. That's another place I'd like to go. I'd like to go down to Iowa, Field of Dreams. But but like it was kind of a fun topic. If you heard a voice intern that said, "If you build it, he will come," what would, first of all, you're saying you're good, nothing with that. But what would be the sports person that's not around anymore that you would plow down your cornfield and either build a football field, a baseball field, a basketball court, or wherever to watch that person come back?
Oh, boy. So
I had
a former player.
That's not around anymore.
Okay.
So, like, I had, obviously age is a thing, but I never saw Lombardi. I'd plow down my cornfield and build a football field to see Lombardi coach a team.
Yeah.
Don Hudson was my number one. I'd see that on there. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, I would love to see that Yankees team play. This one was weird, but I would say I'd build a polo grounds just to watch polo grounds play. I just something like that. So, and then Bobby Jones, golfer, that with the Masters, that was mine. So I'll let you think about that for a little bit. But we got a foursome: Sammy Sosa, Wilson Contreras, and Craig Counsell. Okay. I think that's a Chicago Cubs fan that's chiming in right now for that, I would imagine. But
yeah, just don't hit Contreras too many times.
Yeah, right? No kidding. Be careful. Yeah. Be careful off the tee with him. So, but what else do we got? We got a few more messages I have to get to here. And Zach says, Rodgers, Tiger, Tom Brady. Andre the Giant, I'm assuming, is that the Field of Dreams question? Bucket list sports events for Zach, Super Bowl, and the Daytona 500. Brandon, a little bit earlier, said his first Packers game was a preseason game versus the Rams. Won the tickets from Sports Talk 105.1 and was in the Festival Food Suite. All the food I could eat was a great time. So, all right. Yeah. Good stuff. I like those. Keep those coming. Keep them coming. Yeah, okay. Andre Giant, Field of Dreams. Solid pick. So, let's try to think. I did a top 5. I don't know why. I think, like, watching football and baseball 30s and 40s would be fun. It'd be boring compared to today's football, but just something about it on these small fields and cars lining up because that's how they played under the lights and all that. Just be kind of cool.
I feel like it'd be like the play style would kind of be like high school football nowadays.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Just more physical, but a lot of running.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good analogy. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Got a few more picks here. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler is a very popular pick for a lot of you. Got a do have a Matt Fitzpatrick pick. Got another Colin Morikawa pick coming through here, and a couple more Bryson DeChambeaus. I was just gonna bring up. This is the one thing I think is kind of cool. I know Bryson is. I feel like you either like him or you don't. I don't know if there's a middle ground for a lot of people when it comes to Bryson DeChambeau, but he is playing with a 5-iron at the Masters. I don't know if you saw this story. That he made himself with a 3D printer. Now, I've heard him that he's used clubs like this before, like designed his own clubs, built his own clubs, 3D printers and that. But I'm curious to see how this works.
Yeah.
A 3D, I've always wanted to get a 3D printer to make stupid stuff. I never thought about making a golf club out of it. And I know he's like very analytical and very physics-based, which I think maybe you can be for how strong he is and powerful he is. So, but
I'm surprised that's legal.
It says the USGA would have to approve his clubs before they are used in competition. So, yeah, I don't know if it has been approved, but yeah, it says. Yeah, okay, he is using it. I'm assuming that means it was approved, I would guess. So, but hey, if he wins and a lot of it is because of that, there you go. He's got that money. He can have his own line of golf clubs.
Yeah.
I got to know what kind of 3D printer he's got where he can build a golf club that could survive his swing, though.
No kidding.
Right? You talk about a guy that's going to probably have some major back issues and such over the years. Oh, that hurts my back watching him swing a golf club. So, Lou Dream Jeff, Chuck Liddell in his prime want to go to camp. Well, Chuck Liddell's still around. It's got to be somebody who's not around. I know what you said, though, Jeff, in his prime. But Fleetwood is my choice to win, says Mark. John says my golf foursome would be Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, and Charles Barkley. Okay. All there for the comedic relief.
Yeah, but you could compete with them probably.
You probably could. Probably could. So, I can't compete with anybody anymore. So, all right. We'll take a quick break and regroup. 15 minutes. We've got Jake. So, if you have any questions, please text those on over. We'll be right back after these few words. Mike from Medford saying Field of Dreams, Roberto Clemente, watching him hit and show off his cannon from the outfield. That's a great pick, too. Mike says, great topic and movie. I'm hoping to do a program from Medford here soon, so got to go back to the hometown and do a show. So we'll see if that maybe works out or such. But I mentioned it in the podcast, Man Cave podcast, when we talk about it. I just feel like Field of Dreams, when you become a dad, takes on a whole different meaning with that movie. You've seen Field of Dreams, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's different when you actually have it or a dad in that. But before we get to Jake here in just a little bit, and again, this is going to be your final call if you have any questions for Jake Boakes, our conservation warden friend, coming up here. But quick NFL note, we're getting closer to the potential of replacement officials. I know we talked about it a little bit last week and such, but the NFL has informed teams that they're going to start to train these replacement officials and such. And I think we're all kind of saying, here we go again with this whole situation that was it 2013 that it happened before? Was it 2013 or was it a little bit earlier? Regardless, Hail Mary game, we all know it, and that. Now, we know the NFL knows what happened that year too. So I would have to imagine they're going to do everything possible to train these officials to not happen. But I also feel like the NFL knows they can get away with this because we're still going to watch. You know, because I know some people are saying, well, this is going to hurt viewing and this is going to... No, it's not. Is watching replacement officials going to deter you from watching a Packers game? No, it's not. Is it going to annoy me with maybe some potential calls and such? Yeah, but it's not going to make me stop watching it. Is it going to ruin the product? No, I don't think it's going to at all, because the NFL is king, right? And we only have 17 of these games, so we pay attention to it. We follow it. We live and breathe it all year long practically. And it might be a crappier product, if you will, but it's not going to stop us from consuming it. It's an addiction, really, if you think about it, isn't it? NFL football, watching these games at this point. So you might have been, do you even remember with your age the replacement officials from?
I remember the play.
You remember the play? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The Hail Mary?
Yeah.
That was probably one of the very few times, or I should say one of the last times I was so upset after a game I didn't want to talk to anybody. Then I was just like, okay, that's not worth it getting that upset anymore. But it was like, what are we doing? How is that possible? But yeah, I honestly feel like it's not going to ruin viewership. It's not going to ruin numbers. If anything, it's going to get people to talk more about the NFL and maybe even put more pressure on the officials and referees. I'll say I think the Referees Association wants what happened years ago to happen again, because that makes them, I mean, after that Packers-Seahawks game, what happened? They came back, right? The NFL's like, okay, you guys win. Here you go. And I honestly wonder if that's kind of the bargaining chip that the NFL Referees Association has, that they're going to use. Like, hey, look what happened last time you guys didn't pay us. You want to go through that again? But then I feel like the NFL's, hey, we could go through that again. Everybody's still going to watch. And that's where I honestly feel like the impasse is kind of at this point. And it's almost a game of chicken. The longer the season goes with replacement officials and fewer issues, the better it is for the NFL. If it's bad right away, like it was during that Hail Mary game, it's better for the Referees Association.
I'm interested to see kind of which side of the aisle they fall on, whether it's more ticky-tack, pass interference, roughing the passer, holding calls, or they're going to dial it down kind of. Because the product's going to be better if they dial it down. I mean, we don't need to see quarterbacks get touched in it to be roughing the passer. We don't need to see bad pass interference calls. So I'm interested to see which aisle they kind of land on, which side. But they're taking steps to try to fix it. They're trying to review plays and flags for the replacement refs. But like you said, we're gonna watch anyways, and we're gonna get into the game,
Yep.
whether we want to or not, because it's football. So.
Right. You know, the flip side of that too, you mentioned, are they going to be a little bit more lenient and such? After that first week, you know, and I know a lot of these officials, they're college or D1 and such, but the first moment that they get barked at from an adult, a quarterback or a huge defensive person and such, does that change? It changed me, you know, because I can't handle that. I don't want to get, you know, berated by somebody who's 6'6", 300 pounds, and you know,
Yeah.
that's the other part in this whole thing too.
Or just somebody with prestige. Like if Aaron Rodgers is barking at you, you're likely going to change your calls a little bit because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's going to be interesting to watch.
Or a head coach like an Andy Reid
Yeah.
or something like that. It influences. People don't say, you know, it doesn't, but it still does influence. We see this all the time. It might be something minor. We joke about it, right? Oh, there's the makeup call.
Mm-hmm.
That's influence, though. It happens at every level, and it continues. Ask Badger basketball fans about it against Duke in 2015.
Yeah, we got robbed.
You know, so, I mean, it still happens to this day. It regardless of the level. It's out there. So I hope we don't get to it. I hope this is just back and forth where the NFL is like, okay, we're going to play this card. We're going to go out there and say we're doing this and maybe get them back to the negotiation. Hopefully it's a part of a negotiation tactic, but yeah, it's not going to deter me from watching football, but I can already prepare myself for some of the talking points after games if something's going to happen. You know, that's the way it's going to be. So, all right, we got to take a break, and then we'll get to Jake. He's going to join us here in just a little bit. So, final call. If you got any last-second questions, you got to text them to us right now. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey, if you want to get the smokers out this weekend, you got a hot deal alert at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. Bone-in pork shoulder butts for just $1.39 a pound while supplies last. So make sure you head on over to Hy-Vee in Eau Claire, load up on that. You can also take advantage of their breakfast deals going on all April. Enjoy breakfast favorites and save big with $5 off $25 or $10 off $50. For your meals to go order. So, as always, don't forget to follow along on Hy-Vee to their Facebook page because they always have daily deals, weekly specials, and all that good stuff too. So, if you got a kiddo, it is National Unicorn Day today. So, if you stop by the floral department at your Eau Claire Hy-Vee, you'll have a magical scavenger hunt too. So, there's always some cool stuff going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. All right, let's switch gears here just a little bit as we catch up with our buddy, Mr. Jake Bilks, Conservation Warden for the great state of Wisconsin. Good morning, Jake. How you doing, man?
Morning. How's she going?
Not bad, dude. Getting ready for turkey season and such. Looks like weather's going to be better than last weekend, when I thought it was last weekend. But, hey, kiddos get the first crack at it, so it should be a good weekend for the youngsters to head out there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be warmer than last week, no doubt about it. I was just looking at the weather before this, and it does look like the rain's kind of moving all around. You know, I thought it was only going to be Sunday, now it shows Saturday, so you might be sitting in the rain a little bit, so hopefully those blinds are set up for the youth. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be warm. The turkeys should be moving. I mean, they're already moving. If you've driven down the interstate, that's I hate to say it, but that's a sign that spring's coming. Is all of a sudden you don't see a dead turkey on the road for 9 months, and then you can't go 10 miles without seeing a couple of them.
Right.
But they're in the fields, they're in people's yards, they're fighting, they're strutting, they're ready. So
they're. I'm just like,
fun.
If the kiddos out there, if you're going, just save some for the rest of us. That's all I ask. Right.
Exactly.
So
no doubt about it.
But yeah, it's kind of the kickoff. We were talking about baseball opening day a couple of weeks ago and such. It's kind of like turkey season opening day this weekend. It's just the youngsters get the first crack. So excited for that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. Everyone's generally happy. The kids are excited. As a parent or a grandparent or just a guardian, it's fun to. I think a lot of us are in that position where we obviously enjoy harvesting our own animals, but I think we find even more joy in finding friends or youth or family members that are successful and seeing their joy. So I know that's a big part of this weekend.
Just kind of a general question. Since you've been in this position, Jake, with, the youth hunt for turkeys, have you seen more and more of the younger hunters getting involved in turkey hunting? Because I'll be honest, like when I was younger, it really wasn't a thing, but I feel like now it's grown, and I know probably populations have a factor in that, but have you seen from the years you've been doing this, youth turkey hunting kind of getting bigger and bigger every year?
Yeah, I've been on for a little over a decade, and I do feel like turkey hunting's been pretty popular since that time. I couldn't speak on it 20, 30 years ago, but since I've been hired, it seems like it's always been a popular sport. Obviously, I would say it's even more popular than it was back in 2014, 2013. But I would say that ever since I started, there's always been plenty of learn to hunts for turkey. The youth hunt is always popular. You can find people from day one, which is next Wednesday, all the way to the very last Tuesday in May, where people are hunting. So I would just say the sport in general, and when I listen to different podcasts from around the country talking about turkey hunting, it sounds like that's what it is nationwide. You used to be able to run around from state to state and buy a, over-the-counter tag for $10, $20 as a non-resident, and now it sounds like a lot of states have implemented like one turkey limits for people and different things. So I think just the overall it's been growing, which is good. It always helps. That means more licenses are being sold. It means it's more popular. It means, there's other positives that come with that. Obviously, a negative would be more people in the woods potentially.
Right. Yeah. No, honestly, it's turkey hunting. It's something that I thought about wanting to do when I was younger, but the options were just kind of limited. And it's honestly something I just picked up probably in the last, maybe 10 years or so. And dude, I love it. I love turkey hunting. I think it's kind of, if you're an outdoorsman, if you're a hunter or anything and you haven't tried it, it's a lot of fun. I mean, when you hear that gobble in the woods, that gets your bones going, man.
Oh yeah, no, that when you hear that, especially when it's 5, 6 in the morning, and you hear that first, well, hopefully close one, but even if you hear one way far off in the distance, it gets you excited. It's fun. So it's a good time of year. And you're right. I would say there's definitely, I think just with more people doing it, there's more opportunity for the youth and other people getting involved versus like what you said, growing up and stuff. So I think there's just a lot of opportunity, which is really good.
So you're talking about, since you've been hired and such, which is kind of one of the topics to bring up here, because I got an email and I know somebody had mentioned this as a question. I think we've gotten this question before a couple times too, but warden recruitment for the upcoming class and such, Jake. So now, can you kind of explain like what type of background do you need? Because for instance, I know a friend of mine, he went to school for, I think he was like accounting and such, but you know what? Now he was recently, I think last year, he is now a game warden and such. So what's kind of the background to go if anybody is interested in becoming a DNR warden?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We definitely get that a lot. I think there's a lot of people that think you got to be the world's, greatest hunter, as well as have gone to school for 8 years for, law enforcement or game warden. And that's not the case. So what the DNR, what we try to hire are the best overall people that can teach a hunter ed in the morning or in the evening and talk with kids and get to their level and speak with them appropriately. But then later in the day, do a poaching investigation or assist the county with maybe a fatal motor vehicle accident. Someone who can, do your paperwork and work on your own, but also work in a group. So we're looking for like the best all-around person that wants to be a game warden, that wants to protect the resources, that can work on their own and stuff like that. In your background, it's obviously important because you want to be we're hoping that everyone's a sportsman and has a hunting, fishing, background, but we're looking for people that just want to do the job and are ready to get trained to do it. So to your point, there's wardens now that have started out in the banking world. They were bankers for 15 years and decided that they wanted to change in their profession. There's wardens that were in wildlife, or they just did non-traditional jobs. Obviously, there's tons of us that went to school for it. Like I went to Stevens Point. My plan from day one was to be a game warden, and I worked hard to try to accomplish that. There's a lot of guys that were in the military that when they get out of the military, they're looking for careers and they come in here. And then a lot of, traditional officers that work for the county or the city or state patrol or even the federal government that, want to make a career change and come work for the state. So you can really have any sort of background, which is the really cool part about this. Our hiring process is pretty open-ended in the sense of we just want you to come in and see if this is the right job for you, and if you fit, if you fit the need and you want the job and you have the qualifications, we're going to work to get you there.
Yeah, definitely. So if anybody is interested, is it easy just to kind of go online and check it out and find information and such?
Yeah, it's quite easy these days. I will say they've done a really good job of updating and kind of creating a recruiting webpage. So if you go to the DNR website, the dnr.wisconsin.gov website, and you just go to the search bar and type in warden or kind of go through the menu there, you should be able to find the warden page. And the technical name of our division is the Division of Public Safety and Resource Protection. But that's the game warden division. You go on there and you can actually sign up to get notifications and get on email alerts for updates and when the hiring process is open and different stuff like that. It also has a lot of information on there about the day in the life of a warden, what we do, some of the qualifications. It talks about the hiring process, like the academy, the FTO training, what to expect when you're there. It's got a little bit of everything, as well as contacts if you want to do a ride along or to talk with some of our recruiting wardens. So it's a really, really good spot to start, is to go to that website and then do a ride along. And we do ride alongs just like any other law enforcement. And you can jump in the truck with us for half a day or a day and see what we do, see how contacts go, see what just kind of get a first-hand view of it. So there's a lot of resources for it, and if it's something you really want to do, I really encourage you to reach out and participate in those.
I still want to do a ride along with you one of these days. Just
we'll do it
out there. Okay, I just want to.
I'm gonna send you over the paperwork here soon, so we'll get it on the board.
Yes, I want to do that.
But yeah, I do believe I should know this better, but I'm pretty sure our hiring process is actually open right now. If it should be through. If it isn't, it just ended. But go on there if you have some interest. And what I always tell people is, it's not super common to get hired on your first try. It's a long process. Any law enforcement hiring process is long, but we get 600, 800, 1,000 applicants that we have to work through. So it's a long process. It takes the whole summer, and there's a lot of steps to it. So what I tell everyone is if you're interested, is get in that hiring process and start checking it out, because you're going to gain experience. You're going to figure out what it's all about. You're going to find out if you want to do it. If you're not, you're going to make contacts, and it's a really good starting spot too. So if you're interested, I encourage you to look it up today, find out if you can still apply, because we only hire once a year. And then depending on the budget that we get from the state, sometimes we can hire 7, sometimes we can hire 14, sometimes we can hire 0. So it's all dependent on the budget.
Moving to for little deer stuff, the Citizen Deer Advisory Councils, and this is that time of year when the DNR is seeking some public input on the upcoming deer season. And right now, anybody can go online and provide, some feedback. I know there's some in-person stuff, but this is where we set up those zones and the amount of tags that potentially could be available, right, Jake?
Yeah, so your CDACs is what a lot of people, you'll hear them called a CDAC, your County Deer Advisory Council. They're a little different this year in the sense of, with all those new DMUs up north and stuff, there's a lot more of these meetings occurring, especially up north. So there's a lot of opportunity. To your point, there is the online, you can put in your comments, your observations, your suggestions, stuff like that, and those will get collected and transferred to all the CDAC members that represent different parts of your community, as well as the DNR staff, and they dig through those and take those into account when it comes to the decision making. But you're right. There's basically like 2 CDAC meetings, one to kind of go through stuff from last year, stuff for this year, take public input and whatnot, and then I believe there's a second one later in the spring that kind of finalizes all the information. So you're definitely going to want to participate in that if you want to have your voice heard. Kind of like the spring hearings next week, it's an opportunity to go in and in this case specifically talk about deer hunting locally, where you hunt, and try to have an impact on the amount of tags, whether you want more or less, whether it's antlerless or antlered, whether something's working or not. You can have an opinion. And I would say over the years of me doing it, I feel like it has been underrepresented by the community. There's always like the community members that are part of the actual CDAC council that sit at the table and make the decisions, but it's open to the public. The meetings are, and there's usually only 5 to 10 people from the public that actually come in and have conversations and explain their point of view. So, and those go a long way with the decision-making process. So I really do encourage people to go to them if you want to try to make an impact on your hunting experience locally.
Right. Yeah. I think every deer hunter probably has a thought or opinion on the amount of tags, right? So, here's your opportunity.
every deer hunter has an opinion. I can tell you that, including myself.
Yep.
So
exactly.
I'm not saying this or that, but everyone's got an opinion on the way it should be, it can be, and some of it's, positive and keep it the same, and some of it's, a total revamp of the system, and that's fine. If you want to come in and discuss it, it's the time to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I know we talked a little bit about, fishing a little bit ago, and I know we got the opener here in a few weeks, just under a month, and we talked a lot about, the inland trout season that opened up on April 4th, Jake. But something new this year, I wanted to make sure to kind of bring up the muskie season opening up on May 2nd for all inland waters of the state. So there's no longer a separate season for the northern zone, correct? Is that different for this year, new for this year?
Yeah, yep. They kind of removed that, I guess, waiting period, or they just combined it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the DNR is trying to do all they can do to try to make the seasons, make the dates more consistent, not just in fishing but hunting. You see a lot more seasons, general fall seasons ending in that first week in January. Same with fishing. They're trying to push a lot more of the start dates or the general dates, as long as like the biology or the biology of the fish can sustain it or handle it. Like, it won't make too much of an impact on that species, whether it's breeding or spawning or just the time of year and the environmental effects of the earlier time of year. But as you know, fishing has a gajillion rules, and that's because us as the public want to manage our lakes appropriately, which is totally cool and good, and every lake has the potential for a different species to be the dominant fish or a trophy lake or this or that. So I think the DNR is trying to consolidate it as much as they can, while also giving the public the input to, again, at a local level, have the fishing be what the local fishermen want.
Mm-hmm. Did I also see, too, that there's going to be, for sturgeon, at least a catch and release season on select waters, it looks like this summer? Or this year, maybe starting in June?
Yeah, so that one was not, I guess, not new to me. I had an idea that it was coming. I didn't know it was going to come this year already. But yeah, so in the past, the only time you could, especially around here, the only time you could catch and release sturgeon or keep one is during that September hook and line season. But now they've opened it up to a catch and release season throughout, I guess, most of the year, most of the summer at least, and fall. And then the harvest season will stay the same, where if you want to keep a 60-incher, then that will be in September. But it's going to make it legal to go down to the river and throw a big treble hook for a sturgeon, which you couldn't do beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so all right. And there is sturgeon specific, I don't know if tag is the right word, but like a hook and line inland one, right? I mean, you gotta buy that too, right?
Yeah, you gotta buy the license. You gotta buy the license, have a fishing license, have the tag, and especially if you're gonna harvest one in the fall, you gotta have that tag with you before you harvest it.
Okay.
You still have to get it registered and stuff like that.
Got it. Jake, before we let you go here, I know we kept you a little long, but any final words before maybe the kiddos head out again for spring turkey or anything like that?
No, we've hit it a lot, which is really good, because I think a lot of us listening are probably going to be some sort of guardian or parent or grandparent. So I would say for the turkey hunting, it's just, again, I guess I never got my regulations plug in this week. So read the regulations before you go out. I checked them this morning. I was looking at the youth hunting stuff. All the information is in our regulations under the turkey hunting. It talks all about the youth hunt, about how every youth is entitled to one bird for the whole season. They have to have all the licenses and stamps. They're entitled to one bird. It doesn't matter what season you pick. You could use your A season tag, or if they have a D or a E season tag, they can do that. But the one thing, you do have to hunt in the zone that your tag is good for. So we're in zone 4 here in the Chippewa Valley. If the kiddo has a zone 4 tag, you got to stay in that zone. You can use any season, A, B, C, D, E for harvest, but you can't take your tag and go over to Marshfield or Wausau and be in zone 3, or you can't go down to La Crosse and be in zone 1. You got to hunt in the zone that tag is good for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, just make sure they got their license. I know there's going to be a lot of licenses bought today, tonight, and even tomorrow morning, but just really, really make sure you have that, because there's nothing worse than getting that call saying, my grandson shot a bird, his first bird, but he has no license or tag, or harvest authorization, and you're like, oh, or So, and we work through it. Again, what we want is you to call in. If there's an accident, if there's an error, if something happens, self-report it, because we can work through that. We don't want to take a kid's turkey or write any citations or anything like that. And if accidents happen, and we can work through it. If you try to hide it, or if you buy it after the fact, that's where, and then we get the information somehow, that's where our hands are more tied and our discretion is less, because we have to come to you. It changes the game, and we don't want to do that. So we all make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes at some point. Even the best sportsman in the world makes a mistake at some point. So just give your local warden a call. We're pretty good people, and we'll help you out and work through the situation.
Yeah, definitely. Jake, we appreciate it. As Zach says on our video stream, love the DNR segment. Tip of the cap to Jake, always informative. So we appreciate your time, man. And
I appreciate it. It's fun.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend.
It's always fun talking with you guys.
Hey, enjoy the weekend, man, and we'll catch up with you next week, okay?
Yeah, you two have a good one, and good luck to everyone.
You got it. There you go. There's Jake Boakes, Conservation Warden for the state of Wisconsin. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. We only got a couple minutes left to the top of the hour here, so let's kind of reset everything for the final quarter, final hour that's about to pop up here. Looking for your Takeover Thursday questions, or segment ideas, I should say. What's a topic that we should be hitting up? What's a topic suggestion that you have? This is your chance to kind of act like a producer and such. So send those on over, and we'll throw it out to the rest of the listeners to chime in. Also, we will hit up a little, Enough is Enough Thursday. So what's a sports topic? What's a sports narrative? Where you would be just like, enough is enough. So hit that up. Send it to us, too. Let's do some more Brewers talk coming up in the next hour. Brewers have the off day today before getting back at it tomorrow in Milwaukee, taking on the Nationals. Also, let's do, where is it? Oh, your Masters picks. Continue to send those on over if you'd like. We did have somebody throw a topic out for the rest of you, for the rest of the listeners. What would be your foursome that you would take to Augusta National? So you can send that on over if you'd like to participate in that. So shot clock's going to cut me off here at about 30 seconds or so. So send those on over via the Shoe Doctor's bullpen line with a quick text, 715-830-1912. Or you could join the crew that's chatting it up right now in the Section 105 YouTube video chat. So you can join the entire peeps over there. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We got some news updates, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Final hour on this Thursday morning. If you've been hanging out with us the entire time, we appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. Continue to hit us up and join in on the conversation on the Section 105 chat room. They're waiting for you over there. They're saying, come on in. They don't bite too much. I don't think so. Go check it out on YouTube. Just look up my name or Man Cave TV. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on the entire group there in that room. Help spread the word and share it on your socials to get more people to join in on the chat. I'm putting it on all of you peeps over there. So, we got a Ryder Cup pick for bucket list item. Not a bad one. I wouldn't mind going to a Ryder Cup. There's a little intensity, rivalry with that too. Yeah, I've not been to one, so yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So, you were just looking it up. The Brewers did drop their City Connect jerseys, right? They're calling it Wisco Connect jerseys, and the ones that were leaked, it is what we had seen out there. And I know some people don't like them. I'll be honest, I kind of like them.
I do.
I like them. I like the Wisconsin theme to it. No offense, to the 414 or anything like that, but when it was like the city, it just kind of felt, okay, Milwaukee and that sort of. I kind of like the Wisco theme to it. I kind of like the colors attached to it. I like that they're really, they have a teaser trailer or the whatever you want to call it, a trailer out. It's a very Wisconsin heavy theme, like outdoors, summer in Wisconsin, Northwoods type of feel. And I think that's smart, and I like it. I like it. So just throwing that out there. They want to throw a freebie up here for us. I'd be one of those nice hats and that. Man, I need a new Brewers hat. So, but that's like a hat that with the W in the state of Wisconsin. Man, maybe we're in the minority on this thing, Carter, but I like it.
That's like a more than a Brewers hat. Like you said, it kind of speaks for the state.
Yeah. I don't know. I dig it. I dig it. And it kind of sucks because now I probably going to have to buy one, and that's probably about who's on the $50 bill again? I forgot, but because I don't carry cash anymore. I just do. Dude, who is on the $50? Is it Garfield? Now you got to Google it for me. See, you don't even know. Who's on that $50 bill? I should know this. No, it's Grant. Yeah. What did I say? Garfield? Grant. Yeah. Okay. Close enough. G.
Starts with G.
Starts with a G. So, if you saw it, you can tell us if you like it or not, and you can tell us that we're completely wrong or we're completely right. But I like it. I like it. I just hope now we got to see what Green Bay's is going to be here, because I feel like the Green Bay jerseys are the ones that are more debatable because the history, the legacy of it all. People don't want to see a whole lot change from it, which I get. I understand. It did bother me to see Green Bay wearing white jerseys at Lambeau Field. That I don't like.
It was weird, yeah.
Especially when you're playing the Bears and they're wearing their home jerseys. That I don't like. I like the whiteouts. I like white. I can't wear white as much as I want to. I am the world's messiest eater, so I stain everything when it's white. Just ask my wife. But, yeah, I might have nature-inspired. There you go. Nature-inspired City Connect unis, a statewide effort. I like them, and I'm going to have to get a hat. Son of a gun. They're not for sale yet, are they?
I'm not finding them, no.
All right. Anybody at Shields listening, let us know when you're going to get and save one for me if you don't mind, so I can go get one. What is it? We got? Why don't you read the colors? What's the inspiration there?
So the base blue is inspired by Wisconsin's endless shorelines, lakes, and rivers from the Milwaukee River to Eagle River to Lake Mendota, symbolizing a state constantly in motion. The accent cream recalls the sandy shores of inland lakes, the beaches of Door County on Lake Michigan, and the state's iconic sandstone bluffs.
I'm a big Bluffs guy. I don't know why. I'm a big Dells Bluffs guy.
Sunset gradient. Oranges, yellows, and blues flow through the woodmark. Sleeve patches and number trims reflecting beautiful summers and watercolor sunsets across the Northwoods, Lake Michigan's shoreline, and driftless areas sandstone bluffs. Typography and number set. The custom Wisco word mark regimens, tradition blending script influencers from the early 20th century, American Association Milwaukee Brewers, classic supper clubs, and vintage brewery labels.
Yeah.
The sleeve patch, a revitalized barrelman paired with full Wisconsin State outline. Highlights Brewers fans spanning every county while offering a fresh take on an iconic symbol.
I wish they... Does it say anywhere in that when they're going to like drop it, any of it? Doesn't really say, does it? Probably not. All right.
Oh, I like them.
I do too.
Like, that's a sick hat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be part of my collection. That definitely is. So, son of a gun. Nice work. I think we give them a tip of the cap. That's sweet looking. I don't care what anybody else says. Oh, what does it say? Just scroll. I did see the time. Oh, that's the Brewers will debut the new look this weekend.
This weekend.
For all 3 games against Nat. Okay, if you're going to debut it, you better have it for sale right away. I'm just saying. Come on now. Buy a Brewers jersey. Is that on MLB Shop right now? Oh, the jerseys
they've
are.
got the jerseys. They better have the hats then, right?
Gotta have the hats. Maybe select the... Come on. Please have the hat. Oh, man. All right. Ooh. Yeah. There you go. Oh, 53. Unless you do the 41. That's the adjustable. I don't know why, but baseball hats, I got to do fitted.
Yeah.
It's just something about baseball. I've got to do the fit. I mean, I've got a snapback on now, but I got to do the fitted when it comes to baseball. Oh, yeah. All right. 53. Okay. All right. Going to have to happen. Is anybody going to the game this weekend that can go pick one up for me and bring it back right away? Because I'm impatient, and I'm going to need it right away. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I like that shade of blue, too. It's like it's not, maybe a little bit lighter of a royal blue, but not like baby blue.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a gun. All right. Well done, Brewers. Well done.
So do you like these more or the last ones more?
I like these more.
Yeah.
I know
I did
everybody
too.
else. Everybody else. No offense to the Brew Crew ones. I think that's a great color scheme in that. But this speaks Wisco to me, like state. And I like they sold me on the Northwood summer feel, and maybe that's where I'm at. But yeah, I like this. I got to know if those hats are like right now at Shields or not, or wherever. Because I got to go get me one.
I have a sister who works there. I should text her.
Yes. Inside sources. Connor. Inside sources. Carter. Did I call you Connor?
I think you did.
Connor. Oh, all right. We need to know inside sources. And tell her to save a couple for us here. So, you keep looking for the subscribe button, did you? Come on now. We gotta. It's right. Isn't it right there on the homepage? Should be right there. I don't know. Help them out, peeps. You got to know how to do that there, Matthew, on our Section 105 chat room. So, Brew Crew yesterday falling to the Red Sox to drop their first series on the season. It was a very, very, very quiet day for the offense. Only 4 total hits for the Brewers and just 3 walks. And actually 2 of the 3 walks came from Garrett Mitchell. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right? I mean, the guy who's like striking out the most is the guy who walked the most yesterday for the Brew Crew. But, well, don't panic too much. One thing to maybe kind of pay attention to is this tendonitis that Bryce Terang's apparently going on with his ankle. They're downplaying, or at least he's kind of downplaying it. He says he expects to be in the lineup tomorrow. So fingers crossed there. It seemed like they kind of dodged a bullet with Sal Frelick this past weekend because he's been playing when he was removed from the game and such too. So, but I guess we'll see tomorrow. Chad Patrick's going to be getting the start for the Brew Crew. Originally was supposed to start yesterday's game, but because of the doubleheader on Saturday would have been technically in a short rest. So that's why they had one of their new youngsters, Drowan, out there. And he went 2 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. But the walks, they'll kill you. 4 walks, and that's kind of where things kind of fell apart over there. Even in a game like that, though, You look at so he went 2 2/3. You would think, oh man, they're going to use a lot of bullpen guys. They used 3 more pitchers after that. That was it. And that's something that we've talked quite a bit about with this bullpen, is that they've got the flexibility of guys to eat up multiple innings. Anderson went out there 1 1/3. Ashby went out there for an inning. And then, the newcomer Woodford goes out there and just eats up 3 innings. So the Brewers aren't able, or they don't have to unload their bullpen in a game that just kind of felt like, all right, it's not going to be our day. And we've seen that a few times this year too, whether it was like the Brandon Sproat game or anything like that. Guys able to eat innings, so they're not really using up a lot of their bullpen arms.
Well, especially because we just had a doubleheader too.
Mm-hmm.
So they are low on bullpen. Aaron Ashby's pitched a lot already. And he's one of your best relievers, I get it. But you don't want to overuse him this early.
Right.
So it's interesting that he's pitching so much. But if Jake Woodford can get you 3 innings in a game that you're already losing, I mean, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I do too. So, looking at, since it's been 2 weeks now since opening day, and kind of just assessing where the Brewers are at, 8-4, technically second right now in the division, but let's it's 12 games in, so let's not panic too much. We got 150 more of these things to go here, but early progress. You win all of your series besides just one. It felt like Boston probably was due to win a series with their slow start, because they came into this thing, 2-7, I think. It just felt like they were probably going to be due to come back and win a series. It just happened to be against a Brewers team that was playing really well, and then maybe it was just the same point. Brewers were probably due to drop. They weren't going to win every flipping series, even as much as we would love to see that happen this year. They weren't going to do that. It just, I don't know, it had the makings of, it was probably due for both these teams.
we talked about how the Brewers were kind of trying to push their luck with the Durbin trade. I think Pat Murphy kind of was trying to push his luck a little more in this series, where Luis Matos was starting or he didn't start this. He started 2 games ago, did not start yesterday, but he pinch hit, and Lockridge starting, and Hamilton starting, and Rengifo starting. So maybe he's trying to push his luck a little too much to where, we were winning games with them, but eventually those guys won't be able to get it done. So I think Pat Murphy may have ran out a bit of luck. So.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break while we try to find out if these hats are available right now. And Matt, I'll try to help you find that subscribe button on YouTube. So, all right, we'll take a quick break and be back after these few words. I know Zach pointed out it is free shipping, but if I can get local and get it right away, I got to get that hat. I got to get it now. I know you guys don't know me that well. I'm a very, very, very impatient person when I want somebody or when I want something, I got to have it. Like, so for example, when the Bucks won the championship, I needed a hat right away. I had a buddy coming from Green Bay, Appleton, and he stopped and got one, and I met him the day after the championship and I got it. I couldn't wait. I had to get that Bucks championship hat right away to rep. I'm really impatient when it comes to stuff like that. It's a downfall. Many of the downfalls that I have personally. So I just, when I see something, I gotta have it. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the other ones here. Compared to the other ones, I like what the Brewers did.
Yes.
You mentioned the Pirates one. Yeah.
They couldn't figure out something to do than black and yellow. Like,
yeah. That's, well, and even the Reds one's kind of blah, just the C, it looks
just
like.
the red, yeah.
I don't know. Have fun with it. I like what Atlanta did.
And the Royals. The Royals is kind of cool.
Atlanta's kind of a little bit of a throwback back to their color. So I kind of like that one. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah,
that it's very Brewers-esque. I know some people are going to say, but if you know the Atlanta Braves kind of history too, yeah, I like that. B Moore is pretty sweet on Baltimore, but
Interesting color scheme.
yeah, the Reds one's just kind of bleh. I don't like that C.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some lingo to it. Royals I like. Definitely. Yeah, Pirates. If you'd have told me that was a City Connect, I would have thought that's probably their original.
Yeah, there's their home uniforms or away uniforms. I don't know.
I wouldn't have known anything different. San Diego's not bad. Not bad. Texas is pretty much all red, but I get it. And yeah, because there's only 8 teams that did this. So, yeah, I still like Wisco. So, I know there's people from Shields that listen, so I got to know if you guys are getting the hats in. Got to know and when they're going to be there. So, just.
I know they have them, but I don't know if they're for sale yet.
You know they have them?
I do. My sister got to see them early.
Oh!
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me about that.
Okay. I might have to make a trip there today. I keep thinking today's Friday now, too, so.
I'm not sure if they're selling them yet, though.
Yeah, you got to find that out. Might have to make a phone call today. So, anyways, we've got a quick update on the Masters leaderboard. If you're still wanting to make a prediction, please send those on over. But Sam Burns and Olafable are right now tied at 2 under par. Just 2 under par, as we've got a few people that are out there on the course. Didn't somebody... I got to go through some of my predictions. Yeah, somebody did pick Sam Burns. So I don't know who this was earlier, but Cubs fan chimed in. I think it's a Cubs fan that chimed in earlier, said Sam Burns. So right now, Sam Burns tied. So got to be feeling pretty good about that pick.
Yeah.
So I know it's incredibly early, but still, nice pull so far from them. Tip of the cap to you. So, but we're 2 weeks away from today is the NFL draft, the first round of the NFL draft. Obviously, Green Bay does not have a first-round pick. We keep saying that just as a reminder because we know, yes, Green Bay's not picking today and that, or 2 weeks from today. I get that and such, but I still think it's something to pay attention to for Green Bay. I know they don't pick until 52, but if you are somebody who really wants Green Bay to draft a corner, or you really want Green Bay to draft a defensive tackle, it's going to be, I think, important to watch that first round to see if there's a run on them. If there's not a run on them, are a lot of them going to be pushed back? If they are pushed back, does Green Bay potentially move up in the second round to maybe get somebody that they thought was going to be, gone in the first round and such? So there are a lot of things to still kind of follow along and pay attention to in that first round, because you're probably hoping that some of those guys, maybe there's a run on running backs or whatever position that Green Bay doesn't necessarily need to address right away. And you're just hoping that pushes down a lot. The one downfall in this whole thing, that doesn't help Green Bay is that there's probably not going to be a run on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
With this draft, we know the first one, and then we'll see what Simpson does and such. But, that to me is still worth watching the first round to see if a lot of those defensive linemen or maybe corners kind of get pushed out of that first round.
I think the Packers' approach may just be take the best available because, like you said, there's corners, but at the same time, if the first 5 get picked, then there's not a great corner there in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
If the first 3 defensive tackles get picked in the first round, then there's not a great one for the Packers. So I think their approach may just be, we're just going to take the best available player. They have several holes to fill anyways.
If that best available player is a wide receiver, are you good with that?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I feel like, because we had listener Nick bring that up earlier in the week and such. I do wonder if that is the case and they draft receiver, let's say at 52 overall, does that almost give the hint that they know they can't afford Christian Watson for an extension, maybe even a Jaden Reed and such, because you still got Matthew Golden. Maybe they move to lock up a Dontavian Wicks and such. I do wonder if they pick that receiver early. Does that signal that they may not be uber confident that, or they don't want to give a ton of money to a Christian Watson? Now, Green Bay has drafted, we've seen it before, really loaded up on receivers during the Ted Thompson era, so that could be a much to do about nothing. That was one thing I always liked that Ted did. He made sure that the cupboard was full for receiver options for Aaron Rodgers, and maybe they kind of get back to that with Jordan Love and such. But I do have a feeling that if Green Bay did draft a receiver at number 52, you'd probably hear quite a bit from fans not happy with that. Like, was that the biggest need? Because, no, it probably wasn't. But do you reach for somebody then at that point? I know the easy thing is for a lot of people to say, we'll trade back. But what if the value was just too good to pass up at that point?
I think it could also depend on just the type of wide receiver if they were to get drafted. If it's Is it a Jaden Reed who's going to run all over the field? Is it a Christian Watson who's a bigger receiver that's going to beat you deep? I think the Packers really like Christian Watson. I think he's likely to get a contract in Green Bay. And I think Jaden Reed could be the one on the out. So if they do draft a receiver, I definitely could see it being a Jaden Reed type.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really fault them for picking the best available because they definitely need more positions.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with depth.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of times fans just kind of get into we got enough of that one, so trade one. It's fine dandy until somebody's hurt, and then you're lacking depth at that point.
I mean, Jaden Reed broke his collarbone last year, and we were struggling to find a receiver. So.
And Watson didn't begin the season, right? I mean, we were Romeo and Golden couldn't get out there. Savion Williams, Bo Melton for crying out loud.
I mean, we drafted a first-round pick, and we couldn't get him on the field.
Yeah.
So.
That better change. I will say this. That better change this year.
Yeah.
That's something that really, really needs to if that guy truly was, as we talked to our friend Rob throughout camp, and say he had the best hands in camp, and get him on the field then more often. There is just no excuse. He is a playmaker. Get him more opportunities now.
The only thing you saw against him was he avoided contact.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing for a small receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he caught the ball when it was thrown to him. He ran good routes. He got open. I don't know why we didn't play him, but he wasn't on the field enough last year.
Right.
And I think letting Dobbs go is going to let him play a lot more, but he better be a featured wide receiver next year.
I agree. I mean, I think he can do, whether it's deep threats, with his speed. We saw him picking up big for third downs and that. The trust fact, I mean, yeah, he's got to be more involved, and he better be. So, and I do think it's different than from a lot of people, whereas I think the fan base isn't hard. They're not saying like, oh, Golden's a bust, which I think in a normal year, you'd hear a lot of people say, well, that guy's a bust, like Lucas Van Ness after year one or something like that. I think more people are like, yeah, he didn't get the opportunity. So they're not calling him a bust or anything like that. Like, we know he didn't get the opportunity that he probably should have. And I get it. Romeo Dobbs was a nice safety net in that, but no Romeo Dobbs this year. There really isn't an excuse.
Well, the weird part is Bo Melton was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't we put him in over Bo Melton?
Savion Williams got a touchdown before Matthew Golden.
I mean, Golden got thrown the ball in the playoffs, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So the talent's there. You just got to play him.
And the other part in this, too, is like if this was Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, we probably would assume, well, Aaron doesn't trust him yet.
Yep.
I don't think that's the case with Jordan Love.
No.
I don't think that is at all. So, okay, we got to take another break here. Plenty more to get to in the final half hour. Last call, though, for your dream foursomes. What's on the top of your sports bucket list? Is it Augusta National? Is it something else? Share it with the rest of the class. Quick break, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Got the featured groups up right now on the Master So Much and your boy DeChambeau and such. Looks like Patrick Reed's now the 3 under just through 2. So, did you say Rory hit it in the gallery on his opening drive?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, but man, I was hoping to see this 5-iron from DeChambeau here, but I think this must be the first hole. I think he's on right now, just teed off. So, anyways, last call for any picks. You are rolling with DeChambeau. I am rolling with Xander Schauffele. We'll see how it all plays out in that. But I feel like we're getting to the end of our favorite time of the sports year. You've got end of March Madness. Now you got the Masters. And then the draft kind of ends it. And then we get into the summer, which is just pretty much baseball. There's nothing wrong with that, too. But, yeah. Bucks are going to wrap up their season. Just 2 games left to go. Their last home game's tomorrow, taking on the Nets. Do you think we'll see Giannis suit up?
No.
No?
I don't even know if he's healthy enough to suit up, to be honest, but I don't think he'll suit up again.
I almost want to say yes. But I'm going to say no, he doesn't. Oh, man, But would you be surprised if he did?
Kind of. I mean, the Bucks have held him out this long and said he's injured. So to play him, they have to back off all of that.
That's true.
So for me, it's like the Bucks are admitting they've been tanking the whole time if they play Giannis.
Yeah. Even if it's just for a few minutes, just to do with his brothers and that, I think the optics would not look good.
Yeah.
So I think you're probably right with the investigation that's going on.
Yeah. So maybe in the last game, if they're like, oh, he was cleared to play 1 game, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Yeah. How about Jericho Sims getting a flipping triple-double yesterday or last night? I mean, that's awesome, but it's like, this is a guy who'll probably maybe get you 10 points. He's mostly there for rebounds and such, and then he just has 10 dimes last night too. That's such a.
It's crazy to see who they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cormac Ryan.
Yeah.
16 points. I remember watching that guy at UNC, but never thought he had a chance to play NBA. 16 points, he goes 3 of 6 from deep. I mean, some of these players should not be playing in the NBA.
Alex has been more of an offensive threat than Thanasis has been, for crying out loud. I mean, Alex had 5 points again last night. Granted, 5 of 7 from the charity stripe, but hey, he's getting there. He had 3 rebounds, too. At this point, it's like, who would you rather have, Alex or Thanasis? I think Alex has been the better player so far than Thanasis, for crying out loud.
You remember last year when Andre Jackson Jr. was getting starts?
Yeah, he's barely playing now. Like, what the heck?
I mean, Cormac Ryan's got 25 minutes, and Andre Jackson Jr.'s got 6.
Like, what did he do, like, doghouse for Doc Rivers? It's weird because if they don't want to play him and such, I feel like they could have gotten rid of him.
Yeah.
You know, and they just, I mean, Gary Harris, one of the free agent signings, he 8 minutes and then nothing last night.
I mean, Gary Trent Jr., for goodness sakes, this whole season was benched.
Yeah. That's the one of the many things about Doc. I don't quite get rotations and lineups. And I know that was something of one of your questions or topics where Takeover Thursday was kind of like the lineup, right? Or or when I'm thinking Brewers lineup, I think you're thinking about. But yeah, I don't quite get the rotations and such with what Doc throws out there. I feel like he's lost and just throwing whatever. Yeah, there's no strategy behind it. He's just throwing out there whatever happens and hoping it sticks. Hey, yeah, you get a shot. Let's see if it actually works or not. I feel like that's what he's doing. So, would you? I think. Do you agree? Doc pretty much said he's done after this year.
Please, yes.
You know, he said I'm not answering that, but I'll just say this: I've got grandkids that I want to see, and I'll let you, assume that and that. Would you tear everything down, front office and coaching, or do you give John Horst another shot to rebuild this roster?
For me, it's hard to blame John Horst. I think I'd give him more time because he's done everything he could. I mean, I loved the Dame trade. I thought we were going to get 4 championships out of it, and it just backfired. And then he made the bold move to cut Dame and get Miles Turner, which was another bold move, but Miles Turner was supposed to be better than he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think John Horst is doing everything he can to keep Giannis here, to keep Milwaukee relevant, and the players just didn't pan out, and that happens sometimes. But now, yeah, he needs to be better at decision-making on coaching, but I think I'd give him more time.
The thing about I wish I knew how much the owners really had an influence on coaching. Was this a coach or an owner's decision to hire Doc Rivers? Because, that's a name. You kind of worry about it from an owner standpoint. Do they get caught up so much with name recognition? Like, okay, Doc Rivers is available. Doc Rivers played college ball in Milwaukee, and was that part of the – I don't know. And I know John Horst, talked highly of Doc in his Q&A with Eric Name from The Athletic and that, but it just feels like that was almost an ownership type of move to bring in Doc Rivers.
It was a bad move to fire Adrian Griffin. We were winning with Adrian Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were like 30-something and 15. So we were winning with Adrian Griffin. It was a bad move to fire him, and it was even a worse move to hire Doc Rivers.
And it makes you go. And I know Giannis was asked about it, about Adrian Griffin and such, and he keeps saying that he gave them an opinion. I wish I knew what the opinion was. Yeah. Because everybody just assumes it was Giannis that maybe got him hired and then got him fired. And I wish I knew what that opinion was about Adrian Griffin that Giannis had.
We should have never let Giannis decide who we hired. That was our.
That's the tricky part, though, too, to make a superstar happy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To allow them to maybe have some major influence to keep them around. Maybe they shouldn't have let Bud go. Mike Budenholzer. They were still winning a lot of games with him on there, too.
Yep.
It's NBA coaches and NHL coaches are just kind of like, they recycle all the time.
Yeah.
Coming through and that. And once in a while you find that assistant that's like, oh, that worked, like Mazzulla with the Celtics or even Eric Spoelstra with the Heat and such. But right now, I think the best coach in the NBA is Joe Mazzulla with the Celtics.
He's good.
I think he is the best. Like, if I could have a pick, if we could do a fantasy draft and insert a coach to the Bucks right now, I'd pick him over anybody. Over Steve Kerr, over Eric Spoelstra, I'd pick just from. It's still so impressive to me. We assumed the Celtics were going to be down this year, and I know they still had Jaylen Brown, but no Jason Tatum, and they kind of blew up their roster. For them to be as good as they were until Jason Tatum still came back, I think is he gives a lot of credit to Brad Stevens. I think that deserves a lot of credit too, as he said, finding the players to buy in and to fit what they wanted to do, 100%. But then to have the coach to be able to make that all work, I think I give him a ton of credit. To me right now, I think he's the coach of the year.
Well, the players also have to buy into the coach, and that's what the Bucks aren't doing.
Yeah.
So he does both well.
If Doc Rivers did use the Google Me or Google My Resume thing, that means you're out of touch with your team.
Yeah, Google My Resume. I just lose in the playoffs.
Right? Yeah. If any coach, anybody, has to drop that sort of line, that means you've lost all touch with your team and connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no.
He needs to retire. Yeah. Well, be fired and then retire.
Yeah. All right, we got to take our final break, and we'll wrap it up with some picks. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. All right, wrapping it up here this morning before we shut off the mics and tune into a boatload of golf and some hockey tonight. Let's make some picks. Let's start off in the NHL world, shall we? Let's do that. So, there we go. All right, NHL games here. Let's go. Got a full slate. Toronto taking on the Islanders of New York.
Toronto.
I'll go Toronto too. Columbus, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Tampa, Montreal.
Canadians.
I'll go Tampa. Florida, Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Philly, and the Red Wings of Detroit.
Flyers.
I'll go Red Wings. Pittsburgh and New Jersey.
Penguins.
Yeah, I'll go Penguins too. Winnipeg versus St. Louis.
St. Louis.
I'll go with the Blues. Carolina versus Chicago.
Carolina.
Minnesota versus the former Stars of Minnesota. Dallas.
I'll take the Wild.
I'll go Dallas. Calgary versus Colorado.
Colorado.
Nashville, Utah.
Nashville.
I'm going to go Utah. I do love the Zamboni that they got.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet. San Jose versus the Ducks.
Sharks.
I'm going to go with the Ducks. Vegas and Seattle.
Vegas.
Come on, Kraken, man. Vancouver versus the Kings.
The Kings.
Yeah, I'll go Kings too. Let's do, we got just a few games on the NBA side. Miami taking on Toronto. I'll go Toronto. Chicago and Washington.
Chicago.
Yeah, I'll go Chicago. Indiana and Brooklyn. Got to pick one.
The Nets.
I'll go Pacers. Decent game here. Boston versus the Knicks.
Boston.
Philly and Houston.
Give me Philly.
I'll go Rockets. And then Lakers, Warriors.
Warriors.
I'll go Warriors too. Let's do some baseball games here. Not a lot. We've got Cincinnati taking on Miami.
It's actually a good game.
Yeah.
Miami.
I'll go Miami too, just because we need Miami to win. Get back into first place. Old possession. We're already talking about that. Athletics and Yankees.
Yankees.
Let's go Detroit and Minnesota.
Detroit.
I'll go Detroit on this one. Arizona and the Mets.
Arizona.
I'll go Arizona too. White Sox, Kansas City.
Royals.
I'll go Royals, and then the Rockies versus the Padres.
The Rockies are over 500, but give me the Padres.
Yeah, I'm going to go Padres too. So we already made our Masters picks, but again, I'm going Xander Schauffele, and you are going to go with
Bryson
DeChambeau. And then let's do the Frozen Four. So we know the first game up is North Dakota versus Wisconsin, but we'll save that one because it is Wisconsin. So let's pick the next game, shall we? Which is Michigan versus Denver.
I think Michigan wins.
Yeah, I really don't want Michigan to win after they won just the men's national championship, but I'll go Michigan too. So Wisconsin, North Dakota.
Give me Wisconsin.
Why not? Let's get Michigan versus Wisconsin.
All Big Ten.
Right? Let's do it.
Yes.
I'm ready. Yeah. All right. And then that championship game would be on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At 4:30.
4:30 on Saturday. So, all right. Those are your picks for this morning. So, anything from your sister yet? I need to know.
No.
Well, if you find out, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I went on the website. They're not on there yet, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything yet. So fingers crossed that we'll get up there, and I will try to pick that up.
Yes.
Gotta go. Yeah. Okay. At least a couple people said yes, they look good, but I still feel like we're in the minority. I don't know why, but
yeah, why?
I like it. I don't know. Why do people? For those who don't, are you just traditionalists and don't like alternate uniforms or anything like that? What would you have liked to have seen done from them?
Yeah. What do you want to see?
Yeah. I almost wish there was a team in Iowa so they could have a Field of Dreams theme, and I would buy. This is where I do love baseball. AAA minor league teams, or not even AAA, but minor league teams, where they have so many logo variations.
Yeah.
Timber Rattlers are awesome with it. I still want a Frozen Pizzas hat. I still need to get one of those. I wish those were available up here, But if maybe I could combine, I don't know if I could get away with dropping a Benjamin on 2 hats, $100 on 2 hats. That might be a little bit rich for me, but I don't. As much as I want to, I don't know if I could get away with that.
Yeah, AAA, AA, single A, they all have the best mascots for some reason.
Yeah. Okay, so John says he's going to get a new Brewers hat. So John likes it. All right, John, thank you, man. All right. I like it too. I like the fact that they went with like a summer in Wisconsin vibe.
Yes.
All right, we got less than a minute left here, so tomorrow we'll do a local sports roundup. I know we had a lot going on with the Blue Golds, as we mentioned at the beginning. Blue Golds softball had a nice day yesterday, sweeping their doubleheader. Baseball, Blue Golds, they split their doubleheader, gets points. We've got a lot of high school softball and baseball going on too, so Brandon will be with us tomorrow for our local sports roundup. We'll hit that up. We'll preview the upcoming Brewers season tomorrow, or season series going up against the Nationals. And we'll start to wrap up the Bucks regular season too. So lots to get to tomorrow. Plus, pump the brakes full throttle, recapping round 1 of the Masters. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. Same place, same time, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Chat with you all then.